The opinions and views expressed in the following program are those of the speakers and the host, and do not necessarily reflect those of Yoakley Scott Corporation and your sports network.
Yeah, I've been closer to Jesus before, so can you help me out? Oh, can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Can you help me out? I've been scared to look at my soul. I've been afraid I would follow alone. Yeah, afraid of the things I've been told.
Welcome into a Friday edition of Running Point, presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. Ron Potesta with you. It is a basketball-oriented Friday edition of Running Point. Coming up in about 14 minutes or so, the latest recipients of 500 wins in a illustrious career. Ken Grisdale will be calling in the program at 12:15. We'll talk Poland Bulldogs basketball along with the career of Ken Grisdale, which comes to an end, at least his coaching career, at the end of this season. At 1 o'clock, we'll be chatting with Craig Hannon, the head basketball coach at Girard. At 1:30, Westminster College basketball coach Kevin Saroki will be calling in on the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning hotline. Westminster, a very late start to the season. They've only played one game this year. It's going to be a scaled-down season thanks to COVID. We'll catch up with the head basketball coach of Westminster, Kevin Saroki, at 1:30, and then we'll close out everything with Dolph Carroll from Valley Christian School. He will be calling in on the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning hotline at 2 o'clock. Well, yesterday, we got all of the teams in girls basketball as far as the teams that are going to be playing in the supersized districts, 1 through 4. We talked a little bit about that with Anthony Hartwig, who's not here today, but he'll be back on Monday. And we'll continue to talk about it as we once we get the seeds and the draw and where everyone is going to be, and we'll break all of that stuff down on Monday. Man, that should be a blast. 1 week from Sunday, we will have the boys' seedings and the drawings. And then February the 8th, 1 week from Monday, Anthony and I will break down the boys' basketball tournaments. So we get the seeds and we get the drawing for the girls over the weekend on Sunday, and then we talk about it on coming up on Monday. Next Sunday, we'll get the seeds and the draw for the tournament for the guys, and then next Monday, Anthony and I will talk about that as well. But before we get into our conversation with Ken Grisdale, let me run down the teams that are going to be involved in the district tournaments. The supersized D4, D3, D2, and D1 tournaments. Here we go. Let's start with the smaller schools, Division 4. This was a no-brainer. We made mention that there was a pretty good chance the Grand Valley and the Struthers District would merge together. That's exactly what they're doing. This is no surprise. Here are the teams that are going to be in the supersized district: Badger, Bloomfield, Bristol, Brookfield, Chalker, Lisbon, Heartland Christian, Jackson Milton, Warren JFK, Lake Center Christian School, Leetonia, Lordstown, Lowellville, Maplewood, Matthews, McDonald, Sebring, Ashtabula St. John, St. Thomas Aquinas, Southern, Wellsville, Western Reserve, Wyndham, and Valley Christian. 24 teams encompassing the supersized district tournament. So one would assume you'll have 12 teams in one district, 12 teams in another district. Are they all going to be the same, where you have the usual suspects of 12 teams in the Struthers district and the usual suspect of 12 teams in the Grand Valley district? That remains to be seen. I'll be real curious to see who the top seeds are in this particular tournament draw. One would assume McDonald would be the number one seed. Where does Lisbon fall into this? Where does a team like St. Thomas Aquinas, where do they fall into this? Where does Bristol fall into this? I think this is going to be very interesting to see who would be going where. And again, from what we understand, if they are following the same template as soccer and volleyball in the fall, there would be no district site. There would just be higher seed gets home field advantage all the way through the district championship, and then the regionals, you would have a site. I don't know if they're going to do that, but if they follow the template of the fall sports, that would be the template, where you would have, instead of all four teams or the final four teams meet in Struthers, the final four teams meet at Grand Valley High School, the rest of the tournament. So if they're going by the fall template, it would be the higher seed gets home court advantage all the way through the district championship. That's Division 4. Division 3, this is a no-brainer. We thought this would be the case. It is. The Salem district, the Harding district, they've smashed in together, and they have formed one big supersized district. Here is your supersized district involving 24 teams. Berkshire, Cardinal, Cardinal Mooney, Champion, Columbiana, Conneaut, Crestview, Crestwood, East Palestine, Garrettsville, Garfield, Grand Valley, Jefferson, LeBray, Liberty, Camel, Mineral Ridge, Newton Falls, Pie Valley, Rootstown, South Range, Southeast, Springfield, United, Waterloo. Some pretty big names there. There's some pretty big names there. So there's 24 teams. Again, you'll probably have 12 teams in the Salem district, 12 teams in the Harding district, and again, we'll see what happens. Like I said before, if the fall template is any indication of how they're going to do this, there won't be any one-site district tournaments. It will simply be the higher seed gets home field advantage, or in this case, home court advantage, all the way through to the district championship game. And then in the regionals, that's where the one location will be. So that's 24 teams in Division 3. Division 2, we weren't sure how they were going to pull this one off. We just really weren't sure how everyone was going to pull this off. You got the Boardman district. We weren't sure how they were going to, what they were going to do. Were they going to go to the north? Were they going to go to the west? Here's how they have smashed it together. It's a pretty impressive group here. And then we're going to get Ken Grisdale on the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning hotline to talk about this, because these are some pretty impressive teams in Division 2. And as a matter of fact, it's 25 teams. So you would have 13 in one district, 12 in another district. Here are the 25 teams that will be playing in the Super Size Me Division 2 district tournaments. Canfield, Canton South, Chagrin Falls, Cheney, Chardon, Youngstown East, Edgewood, Field, Geneva, Girard, Howland, Hubbard, Lakeview, Louisville, Marlington, Niles, Notre Dame Cathedral Latin, Perry, Poland, Ravenna, Salem, Streetsboro, Struthers, Ursuline, West Geauga. Well, let's put West Branch in there first. West Branch, and then West Geauga. So you get a variety of teams. West Geauga, Notre Dame Cathedral, Latin, Streetsboro, they're all up into the northern part. And that's where I kind of thought they were going to go with this. You weren't going to be seeing anything shifting from the Youngstown area and then going west. They were going to go due north or northwest in this case. The other half of this, by the way, are the teams that are located in the Canton and the Akron area. So the other side of the district is going to include St. Vincent, St. Mary, and Parma Holy Name, and Lutheran West, and some of those other schools. But this particular one, Division II, this is going to be a wild ride. And I'll be really curious to see who goes where. Speaking of going who goes where, let's go to the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline, where we find the recent recipient of the 500 Club, Poland basketball head coach Ken Grisdale. Coach, congratulations.
Thanks, Ron. I appreciate it.
Now, I don't want to date you or anything, but, you know, your first year at Poland High School was my first year doing high school basketball before I left the area to do minor league baseball and then came back. So we've both been around the block for a few years.
Man, are we old.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, you actually had hair on your head, and it wasn't gray when you started out. Did you envision in any way, shape, or form that in your first year that you would have been there for 28 years and 500 victories? Did you have any idea how much of an impact you would be as a coach when you were first hired at Poland?
I did not. You know, in the beginning, it was day by day. I thought I knew something. I got the job. We lose our first 3 games, and I'm like, holy smokes, what am I doing here? Fortunately, we got our 4th game. We played at JFK, and we won. Had a decent season and constantly built it, but I would have never, I know I was a lifer at Poland as a teacher, and, I wanted to coach. Just you never know how long your stint as a head coach is going to go because there's a lot of variables that can negatively impact you.
Ken Grisdale joining me on the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline. I did some numbers. Now, assuming, and by the way, this is not going to happen, and I'm surely not wanting to jinx you, but if you don't win another game this year, do you realize you have to average 17.86 victories a year over 28 years to get to 500 victories? Coach, that 17-plus wins a year over 28 years, that's a remarkable statistic, and it's just a testament to how solid a coach you have been at Poland High School.
Thank you. And, it's more than just me. You can go back and look at early years, great assistants. Brian Nord was my assistant. He was an amazing coach. Tom Fender followed up, and we all know, Tom Fender was a pretty darn good coach. And then when Tom left to go with Eric Springfield, Chad Fender stepped in, and then Nico Fatimas. Then now we're back to Chad, and Eric is back in Poland. But, you don't do it by yourself. You need great assistants, and most importantly, you need great players and parents. And I've been blessed with that over the years.
You've got an impressive coaching tree. I mean, we sit back on the professional level, and you hear about the Belichick coaching tree. Here's the Andy Reid coaching tree. Let's go on the high school level. You got a pretty impressive coaching tree. Some of your assistant coaches have gone on, and they've done a pretty remarkable job elsewhere.
Yeah, I'm really proud of them, and I'm really proud by the fact that probably the last 15 years or so, all of my assistants have been former players. That have left and have gone to college, either came back and went into education, or they have a job and they still want to spend time in the program. And, to have that's amazing. And the guys that have branched out, like Eric Fender branched out on his own and, won close to 200 ball games. We've been very fortunate, but I also want to mention John Cullen's coaching tree. I'm from there. And, the impact that John Cullen has had on coaches in this area and still on players in this area has been immense.
Well, I was going to say, if you talk about John Cullen's coaching tree, that bad boy is one of those 500-year-old oak trees that's about 1 million miles north and about 50 miles wide. he has left an imprint, to say the least, on high school basketball in the area.
Unbelievable man and unbelievable love for the game and a great teacher of the game.
How proud are you, I should say, of the fact that most of the assistants that are under your tutelage are former Poland players? I mean, that has to speak for what you accomplished as a coach and the imprint that you gave your assistant coaches to have them want to come back and coach for you at Poland.
No, it's amazing, and the impact that it has on especially our young kids. To watch those guys play, and then in the next year or two, they're helping at their level, and it makes everything worth it. And I'm not the easiest guy to play for at times. I'm very driven. I'm a perfectionist. But and I'm going to push you. But then guys that want to come back and be part of it, I think they understood and saw the big picture. That although he could be a pain in the butt at times, he really had our best interest in mind, and he really wanted us to have the best experiences we possibly could have.
What do you tell a up-and-coming coach? If there's one piece of advice that you would give to someone who is just breaking into coaching or is in their first year of coaching, hoping to do this long-term, what would be the one piece of advice that you would give?
That's kind of funny you ask. I was part of the football selection committee, and we have been doing interviews, and one of the candidates asked me, if I could go back and change anything or this or that. He asked a few questions, really good. But the thing that I would tell a young coach, and I told this young person in the interview, I would tell you to step back and enjoy what you're doing. Try to live more in the moment. One of my regrets is I'm very obsessed in the sense of, this has to get done now, and I don't always enjoy it. After the 500th win, I was very, very happy, but I was also very distraught from the game in a way. I wasn't pleased with the way we executed in certain circumstances, and it took me about 2-3 hours to just unwind. Well, actually, when they hit me with the cold ice bucket after it started, but it just to unwind and enjoy it. There are so many good things that happen, so many memories that you really should enjoy while they're going on, rather than look back and say, "Man, that was so great." And that would be my advice to a young coach: live more in the moment. Enjoy the moment, because you aren't guaranteed anymore.
There's Lombardi in you, and I say that in the sense of, for as great a coach as Vince Lombardi was, he was someone that could never really celebrate the moment because his mind was always 1 week ahead. So you'd have a certain amount of time to celebrate the victory, but you knew at some point in time, I got to get ready and I got to get my team ready for the next game, so I'm not going to be celebrating all that much for this game. You get a lot of Lombardi in you in that regard.
Yeah, it's funny, just the overwhelming texts and on Facebook and things where people were congratulating, but a lot of my players, but Jake Wolf, who graduated in 2015, he wanted to congratulate me, and he goes, I know you're already watching film and drawing up the next out-of-bounds play for your upcoming game on Friday. And it was funny. It wasn't an out-of-bounds play. It was actually, a zone play that, I saw, that we could have used against Jefferson Tuesday, but we didn't. So my mind was already there. And I enjoy it, and I really do it, and I like it at the end the most. When I sit back and I look, but I really wish I could relax a little bit more in the moment. But I am who I am, and it works for me.
How interested are you right now as we look at the supersized district? How far along are you with preparations for the tournament, if you are at all? I mean, are you just looking at, okay, we'll wait until we get the draw and we wait till we get the seed? Or are you even looking at the teams wondering, all right, we can beat these guys, we can beat these guys might pose a problem? Are you already looking down this list and determining who you have a really good shot at?
Honestly, no. Again, I'm always looking to the next game. I know we play Jefferson again tonight, and we play Liberty tomorrow. I haven't even started on Liberty other than to gather films. Tonight on the bus ride home, I'll be watching that, and we'll have a walkthrough in the morning. I mean, I have a vision. I have an idea who's there, and it's kind of neat the new idea they're going with. But to me, tomorrow is the most important day, and tomorrow's the most important game. And if I'm not focused on it, I can't prepare my kids to give them the best chance.
I can give you the teams right now because I got them in front of me, Coach.
Yeah.
Listen, this is Poland year in and year out has just been such an amazing program. And like I said, you got to average 17-plus wins a year over 28 years to get to 500 wins. And a lot of people will sit back and go, man, the varsity program, man, this is pretty incredible. But you and I both know in order to have success on the varsity level, you have to have success way behind the varsity level and get kids in the second and third grade, interested in playing basketball. How important has it been and gratifying has it been for you in your 28 years to develop a youth program that has given you success once they get into the high school?
That's where it all starts. I mean, you said it, it's the foundation. And fortunately, over the years, I've had some really great people on my staff, like Tom Fender. Right now, my wife, who is in the girls program, but she runs camps in the summer. We have kindergarten through eighth grade camps go on the whole month of June, and I have all my kids involved, and it's so fun to watch. Some of these guys, like the last year that just graduated was the first year that we did the kindergarten camp, and to just close my eyes and imagine and visualize those kids when they were little and how far they came when they were in kindergarten all the way up through 12th grade. It's just a lot of fun, and you build that continuity. And if you want to succeed, you need to start young. You need to get your verbiage in and your concepts. You need to connect your young people to your older people. I probably have not done as good a job of that of late, but that was really the part that that really got us rolling.
Ken Grisdale, the latest recipient of the 500 Win Club, joining me on the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline. In the 99 years of high school football in the state of Ohio, there's only been a select few coaches that have gotten 500 wins. It's got to be gratifying as all get out to be one of those coaches, one of those very few coaches that have achieved this level of greatness.
Well, I don't look at it that I don't look at it. I mean, it's a great accomplishment. I know I'm going to be more and more appreciative as I go, but it's about so much more than me. I'm glad my name's on it, but the fact of the matter, the people that have been around that have helped build it, the players, this is as much for them as it is for me. Don't get me wrong. I love it and I'm happy, but I want it to be for everybody that has had a hand in it.
A pretty spectacular week of basketball in the Grisdale family. Your daughter Jackie became the all-time leading scorer in Poland history in girls basketball, and then you pick up your 500th career victory, and it was supposed to happen on the same day. Is it kind of a blessing that you both got to share your honor in a different day, where Jackie had the space to herself on Saturday, becoming Poland's all-time leading scorer, and then on Tuesday night you got your 500th victory? Did it work out better that way, Coach?
Yeah, my wife and I and Jackie had talked about it that last week prior, and we thought, it'd be kind of neat for us to do it on the same day. But looking back, it was perfect. She deserved all the spotlight that she received, and then let her bask in it and not have to look at me, being there the same night. So I definitely think it worked out, better for both of us, especially her.
Okay, now I got to put you on the spot here for a second. And obviously you've been a tremendous success as a basketball coach, and Jackie has been a tremendous success on the floor. If you had to coach against your daughter, how would you be able to set up a defense that would slow her down?
Well, I guess what I would say, and I don't want to put any ideas in people's minds, but what I would do is very much like what we would do against, a star player. I'm not going to let her beat us. If I'm going to lose, she's not going to be the one. and I would design my defenses around forcing other people to make the shots and make the plays. And fortunately, right now, her team has come a long, long way. Early on in the season, I think the way that I would have defended her is a lot different than I would now, because other people have really developed, and she does a really nice job of involving other people, so they get confidence. So when they're the one being left open because they want to go double her, that they're hitting shots, and it punishes people for doing it.
You bring up something really interesting, and I've been talking an awful lot about this. Again, it's no secret I left the area to pursue minor league baseball, and when I came back home about 9 years ago, I had left this area in the late 90s. Basketball was still at a pretty reasonably high level, both in the boys and the girls. And I came back home about 9 years ago, and basketball was not nearly as good as when I left the area. But over the last 5-6 years, the game of basketball in the Mahoning Valley has become a very good product again. Dare I say, this year, I think we're going to finally make some serious inroads in terms of getting our teams to play better than just competitive against out-of-town teams. I think we'll do a really, really good job, especially in the districts and regionals against out-of-town opponents. I think our basketball has improved that much. Talk a little bit about how the game has once again become a solid staple in the Mahoning Valley again.
Yeah, I just think, and when you look over time, it's cyclical. I think there's some population issues that have changed. And I think, I've gone through years where, the talent pool just isn't what it was. Right now we're going through, a really athletic group, maybe not great basketball players, but really an athletic group. And I think some other schools are as well. I think the coaches are working really, really hard. I think you have some young minds out there that are changing the way the game is now being played from where it was 10 years ago. And I think that, a lot of tournament comes down to luck of the draw. A couple of years, the first year we made it to state was a perfect example, and I think it was 2002. We hit the regionals, hit a regional that was really good for us. It gave us a chance. Because I remember back in '96, you might remember that team. That might have been one of the best teams I ever had. And we're going to the Akron Regional. And the first game we're going to play is against Orville, the defending state Division III champion. And if you beat Orville, you got to play St. Joe's, who was the defending Division II state champion. That's a pretty loaded region. So I think, again, things go cyclical. I think luck of the draw, where you get to go. I mean, I've always found, and this is kind of probably weird to say, but I've found the regionals in many ways a lot easier than some of the districts we've been in because of the familiarity that other teams don't have with us. We're not an easy program to defend, and if you don't see one like us, it's a lot harder unless, again, you're just superior when it comes to your athletes.
Well, and I think one of the other reasons why the regional might be a little bit easier in recent years, good God, that Boardman district the last few years has been a meat grinder.
Yes, definitely has.
Ken Grisdale joining me on the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline. It wasn't a huge surprise that you announced while you got your 500th victory in the moments after, as the members of the media were celebrating or peppering you with questions, that you announced that this would be your last year, this was it. I think it was pretty obvious to a lot of us that once Jackie graduated from high school, you were going to go and watch your daughter play college. As we go forward into the future, how difficult is it going to be for you, now a former head basketball coach, to be in the stands and to watch your daughter play as a parent but not a coach?
I don't think it's going to be real hard, Ron, because I've always, as a parent with Jackie, I've always been dad. I try not to be coach. She comes home from games, we talk about other things. If she wants to talk about the game, we'll talk about it. If she asks me the next day, hey, what did you see? I'm going to tell her. I mean, I don't think it's going to change. Whatever college she ends up going to, I'm going to put my trust into that person that, they're going to know what they're doing, and they're going to do the best job, and it's her job to listen to them and learn from them. I just want to be dad. I don't want to be coach. I've tried hard over the years not to be the coach of things she's in, because I've seen dads who have been coaches, and I've seen relationships that have, I don't want to say destroyed, but have been hindered, because of that, because those are two different roles, and I want to be a great dad first.
Ken Grisdale joining me on the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline. Couple more things before we let you go, Coach. First and foremost, is your team starting to peak at the right time as we're 3 weeks away from the tournaments? I made mention before we put you on the air, next Sunday will be the seeds and the draw for the Supersize Division II tournament, and next Monday, 1 week from Monday, we'll have all kinds of fun breaking down the tournaments. Is your team starting to become tournament ready as we close up shop in the regular season?
I think we're getting close. Everything this year has been delayed, because of COVID, because of, football playoffs, soccer playoffs, everything we've had, a 14-day dead period. I think we're close. I don't think we're there. I still think we're probably a week to 2 weeks away from, really getting it the way we need to, which for me, that's fine, because that means you're right knocking on the door of the tournament, and that's where you want to be.
As I look at the list of teams that are in the Supersize Division II tournament, it's a lot of very talented teams on this list. Is Poland capable of getting a deep run where they win a district or get into a district championship game this year?
I definitely believe so. I think number one, when things gel completely, and I think I have one of the best coaches in the area in Chad Fender. Chad does a great job, and we're gonna, defensively, and we're gonna probably have to be a little more tactical than we have been during the season thus far. But I'll throw our hat in the ring anytime.
Before I let you go, I got to ask, because this is the last roundup with Coach Grisdale. This will be 28 years at Poland High School. If I were to sit back and ask you to give me a starting lineup from your 28 years of coaching at Poland High School, give me 5 guys, or just give me 2 or 3 guys off the top of your head that would be in your starting 5 without any question in your 28 years of coaching at Poland.
Ron, I wish I could do that. I would hate to offend any one of those guys, because everyone had a role or did different things. So I don't even want to venture down that road. If I had to list, I'd list every kid that ever played for me, because they were special, and I just can't do that.
Man, it sounds like you're trying to run for state senator for the Senate in Ohio. Come on now.
No, I love every one of them, and every one of them brought something different to the table. Over the years, people have asked me. I honestly can't, because they played against different competition. They played against different styles. In a couple of years, we were averaging 90 points a game. We've had years where we've averaged 35 a game, but we still had great players at that point in time. So, love them all, and they're all my all-stars.
When your career comes to an end, if a high school basketball coach asked you, "Hey, can you sit in on a practice? Can I use you as a guest instructor?" Is that something that you would be comfortable doing, or once the coaching career is over, once basketball season is over, you're stepping away from it and you're becoming you're going to be involved in Jackie's collegiate career, and as a fan, as a father, are you going to completely step away from high school basketball, or would you be willing to at least sit in on a practice and give some pointers to prospective coaches if they invited you?
I would love to help other people. one of the, you don't get where you are by yourself. And the people that I've had an opportunity, to sit down and talk with, going back to Tom Titus when I played, John Cullen, Tony Archibald, Bob Martinko, Tom Fender, you go down the line. There's so many people that I have learned from that I would welcome at any time to sit down and talk basketball with somebody. I guess the only time I wouldn't do it is if I had to be at Jackie's game. But no, I would love to do that. And, Kim and I were talking the other day, who knows? When Jackie's done, maybe we'll do it again. Maybe she and I will get a team and do it again. I mean, I'm not done with coaching. Coaching's too much of my life. But, the coaching at Poland for the next 4 years is going to be, it's done. I need to be around Jackie.
Well, I'll tell you this, and I'll let you go on this comment. I've watched high school basketball for north of 45 years, and if I were to put a Mount Rushmore of coaches together, you're on that list, kiddo.
Wow, what an honor. Thank you.
Congratulations on everything that you've done, and hopefully in a perfect world, you get an extended ending in the tournament, Coach.
I appreciate it so much. Thank you.
You got it. Ken Grisdale, he is the head basketball coach of the Poland Bulldogs. We're going to take a time out. On the other side, we'll open up the phone lines. MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline open for business. 330-886-0813. Back in a bit.
New things happen all day. Some are good, some not so good. In today's complicated world, while you're busy working, playing, and living life, we're busy helping you make sense of the day's news. And there's only one place where it comes together with clarity, context, and accountability. It's 21 News at 6 with me, Madison Tromler, and Derek Steyer.
21 News at 6. It's what the day's news really means to you.
Welcome home to a home made homier with Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods. Inspiration starts at BairdBrothers.com and is turned into reality when high-quality hardwoods are delivered right to your home. Baird Brothers has the latest design trends, shiplap and skinny lap interior siding, antique oak rustic flooring, and, well, you'll find them all at BairdBrothers.com. Ordered easily, delivered conveniently, enjoyed comfortably. BairdBrothers.com.
WRS Wealth Advisors, the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists. Located on South Avenue in Boardman.
Hi, this is Jim Myers with Myers Family Insurance, your local Medicare and retirement resource. We're excited to have sports back. Whether you're on the field or cheering from the stands, sports unifies communities and brings hope for the future. We're all one team working together. At Myers Family Insurance, we know the importance of a great team.
Our team continues to grow to help you with your Medicare and retirement needs.
The annual election period is October 15th through December 7th. Now's the time to make sure your plan continues to meet your needs for the upcoming year.
Call today.
Hi, I'm Colin Chupa. And I'm Kelsey Clem from K-Squared Marketing. Our boutique marketing firm specializes in media planning and buying, public relations, event marketing strategies, and strategic sponsorships. We can integrate our services with your existing game plan, or we can be your entire marketing team. Your goals, our game plan. Let's win together. Call K-Squared Marketing at 330-623-2730 or visit ksquared.marketing to learn more.
Welcome back to a Friday edition of Running Point, courtesy of Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. If you're in the market for a brand new or slightly used automobile, listen, buying a car is a gigantic commitment. It really is, especially if it's a new car. I mean, have you seen the prices for new cars? Oh, my God. Regardless, it's a gigantic commitment. And before you make that really large commitment, you owe it to yourself. Before you make your decision, do yourself a favor. Go to Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. I've been saying this for the last few months. The sign of a great dealership is a fantastic sales department, service department, and finance department. Greenwood Chevrolet has all three. All three of them are incredible. You owe it to yourself to make a trip to Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown before you make the commitment of purchasing a new or slightly used automobile. Many, many thanks to Ken Grisdale for coming on the program. And I'll tell you what, and I am dead serious when I say this. 45 plus years of watching high school basketball, not just in the state of Ohio, by the way. I'm one of these folks that loves to watch sports. Doesn't matter if it's college, professional, or even the high school level. I just love to watch sports. I have watched high school basketball in Tennessee, Illinois, Pennsylvania. I broadcast games at Farrell High School way back in the day, before my venture into minor league baseball. I've watched high school basketball in multiple states. So it's not just the Mahoning Valley that I've watched. I've watched 45 plus years of high school basketball, and if I had a Mount Rushmore, Ken Grisdale is one of those 4 coaches. He just is. And hopefully Poland gets a lengthy tournament run, and we'll see what happens there. We made mention of the Division II programs. I didn't want to repeat it because Coach Grisdale wasn't interested in hearing the names. He wasn't quite ready in tournament mode yet. So we're but I did mention him before he came on the program. We go to Division I. Oh my goodness, D1 is large. Let's just say it's a very, very large, supersized tournament that is going to be entertaining as all get out. Here are the 37 teams that are going to be taking part in this supersized tournament. Alliance, Lakeside, Aurora, Austintown Fitch, Boardman, Brush, Canton McKinley, Cuyahoga Falls, Dover, Akron Ellett, Euclid, Canton Glen Oak, Greene, Harding, Harvey, Archbishop Hoban, North Canton Hoover, Hudson, Massillon Jackson, Akron Kenmore Garfield, Kenston, Lake, Madison, Mayfield, Mentor, Nordonia, Akron North, East Lake North, Massillon Perry, Riverside, Theodore Roosevelt, Solon, Willoughby South, Stowe Monroe Falls, University School, Walsh Jesuit, and Massillon, Washington. Damn, that's impressive. I don't even know where to start with this, other than the fact, good luck trying to win a district championship, or hell, I don't even know where to begin on what they're going to do. Now, obviously, 37 teams, one tournament is going to have 19 teams, and the other tournament's going to have 18 teams. I mean, they're going to split this up. Those are some incredibly impressive names. These are some very, very impressive basketball schools. We sit back and, Boardman, with all due respect to Fitch and Harding, Boardman is the name product around here. I don't know where I would see Boardman in this. Is this a deep tournament. And then you go to the other side, and the other side of the tournament is every bit as deep. I mean, good Lord, is this going to be a fun Division I tournament. And I hope, if Fitch, Boardman, Harding, you better bring your A game, because I just mentioned some unbelievably talented schools in Division I that are going to be in this district tournament. Holy smokes, is that going to be loaded? I mean, we sit back and we've talked about, D1 being loaded, D2. All of these districts are absolutely loaded, but D1, good God, we just mentioned some unbelievably good schools. And again, let me remind everyone of Division II. Craig Hannon will be coming on at 1 o'clock. He's the head basketball coach at Girard. Canfield, Canton South, Chagrin Falls, Cheney, Chardon, East, Edgewood, Field, Geneva, Girard, Howland, Hubbard, Lakeview, Louisville, Marlington, Niles, Notre Dame Cathedral Latin, Perry, Poland, Ravenna, Salem, Streetsboro, Struthers, Ursuline, West Branch, West Geauga. I'll tell you what, and we've made mention, the fall sports, especially in soccer, it certainly helped our really, really good programs. I know Howland went to the state and ultimately won the state championship. We have a chance with some of our elite teams in this area. We have a chance to get a district championship. But I'm going to tell you right now, the competition level in all 4 of these divisions is borderline bananas. You're going to have to play some damn good basketball to win a district championship in these supersized districts. Whether you're in Division 4, 3, 2, or 1, you got a daunting task ahead of you. You seriously have a daunting task ahead of you. If you're an elite program, regardless what division you're in, you are going to be playing some serious competition in order to get a district championship. I love, part of me, let me just say, part of me is going to really miss, and this goes back prior to the first decision the OHSAA made with the sectional tournaments being at the home of the higher seed. Look, when they did that 4 or 5 years ago, that really bothered me, and it still does. Okay, in a perfect world, you're still having your own district tournament, and you're in your one location, and that one location is doing 2 games a night, and everyone is congregating in this one location. But I got to be honest with you. What they're doing right now, I absolutely love this. I absolutely love this, because the basketball fan in me, the basketball fan who's really hoping that this area steps up and gets to the same level as the Canton area, the Akron area, the Cleveland area, now with this concept, with the concept the OHSAA has decided to do for the tournament by supersizing 2 district tournaments, and you're essentially going to have 2 winners. They're going to be, you're going to seed them 1 through however number of teams are in this tournament. Okay, you get your choice, top seed. Where do you want to go? If you're McDonald, let's say it's Division 4. If you're McDonald, okay, you want to go to the Struthers district. I mean, that's your home. That's where you've gone. So you'll go to the Struthers district. All right, who follows McDonald? And where do we, which teams get the choice, and then where do we go once it's been filled up? I mean, this is just great theater right now. And let me say, this idea, now that I have an idea, and we have the number of teams that are in the supersized districts, I freaking love this idea the OHSAA has put forth. I wasn't sure if I was going to like it, but the basketball competitor in me absolutely loves this idea. Oh, you want to win a district championship now? Now you're going to have to go up against the best of the best of the best in 2 districts, not 1. And if you win, you're going to be in a ridiculous regional tournament where the district champions, I don't want to say in the past they didn't earn their way, because they did. Everyone's earned their way through the years up until this year. Everybody earned their way to a regional by winning a district. But this year, you are really going to earn your stripes to get to a district championship. You're going to be really earn your stripes. And then to get to the regionals, man, oh man. I love this idea from the OHSAA. It's a great idea. Okay, I understand you're not going to be playing in the same location. All right, that's something that we sacrificed 5 years ago or whatever the hell time it was. But this idea from the OHSAA is a phenomenal idea, and hopefully, this is something that is going to be happening. Not just this year, but for years to come. This is good. This is impressive. Let me go back to Division 4 and run through these teams 4, 3, 2, and 1, and then we'll take a timeout, and then we'll bring in Craig Hannon, the head basketball coach of Girard. Here are your D4 supersized districts: Badger, Bloomfield, Bristol, Brookfield, Chalker, Lisbon, that would be David Anderson High School, Heartland Christian, Jackson Milton, Warren JFK, Lake Center Christian School, Leetonia, Lordstown, Lowellville, Maplewood, Matthews, McDonald, Sebring, Ashtabula, St. John, St. Thomas Aquinas, Southern, Wellsville, Western Reserve, Wyndham, and Valley Christian. And good luck seeding those top 6 teams. That's going to be incredible. Division 3, Berkshire, Cardinal, Cardinal Mooney, Champion, Columbiana, Conneaut, Crestview, Crestwood, East Palestine, Garrettsville, Garfield, Grand Valley, Jefferson, LeBray, Liberty, Camel Memorial, Mineral Ridge, Newton Falls, Pie Valley, Rootstown, South Range, Southeast, Springfield, United, Waterloo. Impressive. Again, top heavy. Good luck trying to figure out the top 6 or top 7 in that district. Division 2, and forget about top 7. The top 11 or 12 is crazy good. Division 2, Canfield, Canton South, Chagrin Falls, Cheney, Chardon, Youngstown East, Ashtabula, Edgewood, Field, Geneva, Girard, Howland, Hubbard, Lakeview, Louisville, Marlington, Niles, Notre Dame Cathedral Latin, Perry, Poland, Ravenna, Salem, Streetsboro, Struthers, Ursuline, West Branch, West Geauga. Yeah, again, congratulations and good luck trying to figure out 26 teams in this list, because the top 12, there's a dozen teams on that list that have a legitimate chance to get to at least the district semifinals. And then if you thought Division 2 was impressive, let me introduce you to Division 1, because, kids, I'm going to tell you right now, 37 really good names are on this list. Alliance, Lakeside, Aurora, Fitch, Boardman, Brush, Canton McKinley, Cuyahoga Falls, Dover, Ellett, Euclid, Canton Glen Oak, Green, Harding, Harvey, Akron-Hoban, Hoover, Hudson, Massillon-Jackson, Akron-Kenmore Garfield, Kenston, Lake, Madison, Mayfield, Mentor, Nordonia, Akron North, East Lake North, Massillon Perry, Riverside, Theodore Roosevelt, Solon, Willoughby South, Stowe Monroe Falls, University School, Walsh Jesuit, and Massillon, Washington. You can make the case, and I kid you not, there are 37 teams in this district. You can make the case for about 15 of these schools to go to the district semifinals. And let's be honest, only 8 of them will do it. But there's 15, minimum 15, that have a legitimate goal of getting to the district semifinals, let alone the district finals, where only 4 teams you get, because this is going to be split up with 2 tournaments. The talent level in D1 and D2, oh my God, it's ridiculous. The talent level in D1 and D2. If local teams, here's your word of advice. Bring your A-plus game, because if you don't, you're not going to survive. You better bring your A-plus game night in, night out, every single tournament because you ain't going to survive in any of these tournament games. You better bring an A-plus game every single night. Holy crap, is there some talent in Division I and Division II. Not that there isn't in D3 and D4. Oh, there's plenty of talent there as well. So all of the YSN family, y'all better bring your A game because you're basically going to need to bring your A game into the tournament now that it's been supersized. All right, we'll take a timeout. On the other side, Craig Hannon, the head basketball coach of the Girard Indians. He joins me. It's coming up in a couple of minutes. Stick around, more to come.
Baird Brothers remains your source for fine hardwood products. For the time being, we're open for customer pickup only on weekdays, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., and Saturday from 9 a.m. till noon. Place your order online at BairdBrothers.com. Baird Brothers, for the place you love.
Quality, customer service, and integrity. Those are the 4 words that have driven our success since 1957 at Joe Dickey Electric.
Joe Dickey Electric is one Mahoning Valley landmark business that stays current with the requirements of our customers. Family owned and managed, we are an electrical contractor and energy solutions provider. Every member of our team adds to his or her skill set through ongoing training. Residential, commercial, industrial, automotive, and more. We keep ahead of the needs of our customers with a fleet of more than 50 vehicles and 24/7 emergency service, so you're never left in the dark.
The 4M Company, being an architect and construction manager for over 40 years, has had the opportunity to use many different electrical businesses for our projects. The depth, quality, and knowledge and attention to detail displayed by Dickey Electric makes them stand out above all the rest.
For state-of-the-art expertise and a timeless commitment to our customers, contact Joe Dickey Electric. We are everything electrical.
I went to Greenwood Chevrolet because I was really interested in looking at the tracks.
Because I wanted my dream truck.
Because I've been going there for 20 years. I think whenever we go there, whatever car we're looking for, they have tremendous inventory.
If you're looking for people who care about you, Greenwood is the place to go.
You know, it's like family there. The girls know me in service. It's Miss Kim in the Tahoe.
I'm really happy that I went
to Greenwood Chevrolet.
Local teams are heating up the hardwoods, and you can keep up with all the action on and off the court with Five Guys Hoop News all season long on 21 Sports.
When looking for home design inspiration, don't just be inspired, be Baird inspired. Whether new or remodeling, Baird Brothers has the latest trends like shiplap to refresh your home. Go from inspiration to installation with our wide selection of in-stock American hardwoods. From the rustic charm of antique oak to the warmth of traditional cherry, Baird Brothers has what you need to make your home inspiring. Baird Brothers, our family's heritage, your family's home.
Welcome back to a Friday edition of Running Point presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. Let's run through the list of games that we have on the network this afternoon and this evening. First and foremost, wrestling at Fitch High School. It's the EOWL tournament at Fitch High School. A lot of wrestling tournaments have been canceled, not this one. This is the premier wrestling tournament in the Mahoning Valley, and it's happening at Fitch High School this afternoon. YSN coverage begins at 3 o'clock. Junior high basketball tonight, JV basketball tonight. JV basketball tonight starting at 5:30 on the network. Toronto is at Edison. The JV game will start at 5:30. All right, varsity game only tonight at 6 o'clock at Cheney High School. Cardinal Mooney will be playing Cheney, varsity only, beginning at 6 o'clock. All of these other games will be starting at or around 7 o'clock. And as we've mentioned time and time again, the 7 o'clock start, it depends on the quickness or slowness of the JV game. If the JV game goes pretty fast, the 7 o'clock start will actually be a couple of minutes early. If the JV game goes long, then obviously the 7 o'clock start will be a couple of minutes late. Here are your 7 o'clock games tonight, give or take a few minutes. Howland is at Boardman. Liberty at Champion. United at Columbiana. LeBray at Crestview. Toronto at Edison. Struthers will journey to Girard. Akron-Hoban comes to Louisville. Marlington is at Salem. Badger taking on Ursuline at Ursuline High School on Wick Avenue in Youngstown. McDonald is at Waterloo. That is going to be a phenomenal game tonight. and Minerva is at West Branch. And, of course, tonight, courtesy of WRS Wealth Advisors, Mike Ackelson and the boys here in the studios of YSN. You can take a gander at Open Look. Open Look tonight on ysnlive.com if you're not interested in watching any of the basketball games, but you want to keep up to date on what's going on all of the basketball games. You definitely want to check out Mike Ackelson and the boys. WRS Wealth Advisors presenting Open Look beginning tonight here in the studios at YSN, starting at 7 o'clock tonight. Open Look on ysnlive.com. All right, 330-886-0813. The MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline open for business as we await the head boys basketball coach of the Girard Indians, Craig Hannon, who will be calling in. Coming up in about 1:30, we will catch up with the basketball coach at Westminster College. They are just starting their season. Westminster, a Division III school. Coach Kevin Saroki will be joining me on the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline at 1:30. And then at 2 o'clock today, Dolph Carroll from Valley Christian School. Valley Christian, they're not playing tonight. They're in the EOAC, and they're in the depths of a really, really tight division in the EOAC. And I got to be honest with you. When I saw that Valley Christian was going to be joining the EOAC, and this is the league that includes Columbiana, Leetonia, East Palestine, Lisbon, United, Wellsville, and Southern, it's a great match for Valley Christian. Now, granted, they're the northernmost team in the EOAC. Columbiana, East Palestine, Leetonia, they're in the extreme northern part of Columbiana County. And then you have Lisbon, United, and Southern in the middle range. Actually, Southern would be in the southern part of Columbiana County, and then Wellsville is way down in Columbiana County. But that's a great, great league that just got better with the addition of Valley Christian School. Tell you which other league is really good, the Northeast 8. And from the Northeast 8, we bring in the head basketball coach of the Girard Indians, Craig Hannon. Coach Hannon, how are you today, my brother?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Let's talk a little Girard Indians basketball. First and foremost, how difficult has it been for you as a basketball coach to wear a mask and to inevitably you've got to be repeating yourself a million times in practice if you have that damn mask on?
Well, I'm really loud. And I think anyone that knows me knows that. So that mask doesn't really muffle me too much. But you know what? We're used to it at this point. It's just something like anything else. We've all had to adjust to it, players, coaches, everybody. So it's something I've adjusted to, but because I've been blessed with very, very loud voice, it hasn't been too bad for me.
You know, the one advantage, and I've gotten a kick out of some of the coaches that, you know, you're wearing a mask, and as long as you're really not saying it all that loud, you can pretty much say whatever the heck you want to say to an official because he can't read your lips. I mean, that's the one beautiful part of wearing a mask, I would guess.
Yeah, some officials obviously still don't take too kindly if they run by and hear what you're saying, but yeah, you can probably get away with a little more under your breath than you normally do in any other given year.
How healthy has this team been by and large this year, Coach? Are you happy with where you guys are, considering the fact that unfortunately Trumbull County and you guys are in Trumbull County, you got your season started pretty late?
I feel good. I mean, this is a young group. You know, we returned a few guys that played as freshmen last year, but they're a really hard-working group. I know when the shutdown happened, they were upset because it is a group that does really come in, work hard. They like being around each other. They're very coachable. It's been frustrating just because I think they expect more from themselves. But you can see the improvements, and we're getting into tonight will be game 10 for us And that's right around during a normal year where you would start to see real improvement. And I'm starting to see that from this group, which has been, really nice considering, we did get delayed a little bit, but they've bounced back, and I'm starting to see some things I really, really like.
Coach, I've been speculating on the program, and we're 3 weeks away from the tournament draw, and obviously 4 weeks away from getting it started. And I've speculated if you can go north of 15 games, you should be able to have enough games where you can get into the tournaments and not really be that much different than a team that's played 20-plus games.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, once you get to that, that's a good marker. That 15-game mark, you know who you are. You're starting to get to the point where practices aren't as long and you're not putting as much stuff in. So, yeah, I think most of us will be right around that mark. It should be okay once tournament time comes. And it's definitely different this year with the super districts. We have to do our homework based on who we play because some teams are going to have 20 games, some are going to have 10. So there's definitely a little more that goes into it this year, but 15 games is a good mark to where you should be.
When you speak with Nick Cochran and everyone who's in charge of the scheduling for Girard, is the Northeast 8 the most important aspect of accomplishing that complete schedule before you guys start looking at non-conference games between now and the end of the season, Coach?
Yeah, I think so, and that's just a personal opinion. I know Nick's done a great job just getting us any game we can get just so we can play as many as we possibly can. But I know in conversations we've had as a staff, we want to play our Northeast 8 schedule because, frankly, we feel like it really gets us ready for tournament time. Those are good teams in there. We have Struthers in there that's undefeated. Poland's a nice team, as they usually are. South Range is getting better. Jefferson and Ashtabula has talent, and the rest of the league's balanced there too. So we wanted to play as many Northeast 8 games as we can because we feel like it will prepare you for what you're going to see come February and March.
Coach, you've run the gamut of seeing a veteran-laden team in your early years at Girard, and now you have a really, really young team. Do you find yourself being more of a teacher with the young kids, or is it just no different coaching?
Oh, no. Every group gets different, Ron. I mean, any coach that'll tell you that. You have to adjust to what you have. And I'd say, my coaching staff has a lot of experience, as you stated. But one of the things we've noticed this year is we're teaching more situational basketball where late in games, how to take care of the ball, making free throws, where when you have a senior group and you have a group that you've had for a while, they know exactly what to do and where to be and how to do it and won't have many questions, and they really make you as a coach look smart. So, but what's nice is the sophomores turn into juniors and juniors turn into seniors. Eventually this group will get there, and I keep telling them that, look, just keep doing these things, and eventually in a couple of years it's going to be very easy for you to do these small things that we're preaching on.
It's a double-edged sword when you think about it because on a given night, freshmen aren't always freshmen. You get that glimpse of, holy crap, this is what I've got to look forward to. And it's not all year long unless you have an uber-talented freshman and sophomore team. But every once in a while, you'll get glimpses of they're playing like a senior. They're playing like a junior. And I got to imagine for you, it's a double-edged sword. Okay, it's great right now, and we're not going to be expecting this every single night. But the good news is 1, 2, 3 years down the road, oh my goodness, are we going to be tough to beat based on what kind of talent that I have right now?
Yeah, and that's the expectation, but at the same time, these guys also have to put the work in the off season. They still have to be gym rats. They still have to do all the right things in the classroom. So as nice as it can be in 2 years, you still have to preach, and they still have to understand that there's still some work to be done, and it's just not going to come to you. But it is nice knowing that group's going to be, for the most part, the core of this group will be back for the next couple of years.
Tell me something about the off-season program that you guys would do. I mean, obviously, in football players, you stick them in the weight room, you get them to be stronger. For a long, long period of time, basketball and baseball players, you would look at them and say, well, don't lift any weights. because your flexibility is going to get all kinds of screwed up. Well, in later years, they found out you don't have to lift weights per se, but there are different lifting exercises that actually will be helping you out tremendously. And I got to believe that's something that's part of the off-season and conditioning program for basketball now.
Oh, sure. We're actually even lifting in season 2 days a week because that's as important as anything for injury management, for keeping strength, keeping your conditioning late. So it's definitely changed. I think kids have a really good advantage now. There's more known about lifting and more known about, it isn't just about one program. Each sport, each program has their own exercises and own things that they need to be doing. And we have good people here at Girard that do that know what they're talking about. And I think this group will buy into that. And we've had guys in the past, guys like Austin O'Hara and Adam Conley, even a kid like Matt Page, who really bought into the weight room. And you can see as years went on, especially into their senior year, how much better they got because of that important aspect.
Coach, we talked about COVID and being in Trumbull County. It really hit the Trumbull County schools. Let's talk a little bit about the junior varsity and below, your junior high program, your youth program. With COVID pretty much destroying basketball in the month of December, how is your youth program, junior high program, and junior varsity program dealing with now that you're behind, but you're up and running?
Well, I think the importance in the junior high program is still always on, your core principles and stuff, which, you want your ball skills to be well. You want them to run certain things and certain offenses that you run. So I'd say our junior high is actually dealing with it really well, just because that's more about a developmental level. Our junior varsity, it's been up and down. The good thing that's happened for junior varsity is OSHA's allowed 6 quarters a night. So we've had some kids that are able to play a little bit more. And considering we didn't really have summer with summer league and team camps and stuff, it's been good they added that extra quarter per night to get some kids some playing time. So we're seeing improvements that way, carrying over from JV to the varsity court with some of these young guys because they get to play a little more.
About a week or two ago, the OHSAA came out and said, hey, if a team wants to play 2 games in the span of 1 day, we get no problems with that. Now, it's no secret that you guys are, and everyone in Trumbull County is significantly behind in the amount of games played. Has that temptation crossed your mind where you guys play 2 games in the span of 1 day, where you would play a Saturday morning game and then turn around and play a game on Saturday night?
I'm not sure it's even been presented to us. I know we don't have any of those in front of us at this moment. I do know that, for instance, our schedule breaks down where we play tonight, we play Saturday, we're going to play Monday, and we're going to play Tuesday. So really, I know that, playing 2 games in 1 day is a lot, but we're playing as many games in as many days as we can. But I just don't think that's even presented itself to us. I know at the junior high level I've seen some double headers and playing 2 games just to get as many in as you possibly can. But that's not something we've had presented to us. And as of now, I don't foresee that. But obviously with this ever-changing pandemic and environment we're in, it could. Right now, it doesn't look like that's what we're going to do.
Well, that's pretty busy, what you just mentioned, Coach. You're going to be playing tonight, tomorrow night. Sunday is a day of rest. You're going to play Monday. You're going to play Tuesday. Experience is the best teacher, and sometimes an hour and a half practice can be replaced by a game, and you can learn a heck of a lot more playing a ball game than you can going an hour and a half of practice.
Yeah, and one thing, Ron, we've been really preaching to our kids is don't look at the scoreboard right now. We win, loss, tie, it doesn't matter. We are going to, take each thing and learn from it, each game and learn from it. It's better than being at practice for an hour and a half. The kids get to play. It's competition. We're fortunate that we're able to play because I'm sure there's states and schools and areas that aren't playing. So, yeah, we're not worried about how many games we play in how many days. It beats practicing. It beats the repetitiveness of that. It gets them in real situations, and I think that's what's important right now.
Not to mention the fact that you'll be in tournament shape when the tournaments come, and I'm sure you've taken a gander at the supersized Division II tournament. Good Lord, what an impressive group of schools.
Yeah. It's I'm very curious to see how it all shakes out with this year because, they made the switch for this year, then COVID hits, and they kept it that same way. There's going to be long travel. There's going to be teams traveling an hour, whether they're coming to us or going to them. Just taking a look, some schools, like we talked about earlier, have 8-9 games. Some have 17-18 already. It's going to be really curious to see, and don't be surprised if you see some early upsets just because teams' records might not indicate how good or bad a team is just because of the games that have been played.
How close, I should say, are you with getting this team ready for the tournaments?
We're getting closer. I don't think we're quite there yet. I think this next week or two is really going to show me what we're made of just because we do play a lot of games. But I think a lot of these kids having an experience last year varsity when they were freshmen and sophomores, I think they know what's expected. I think we're very close to breaking through and seeing some things that we want to see. We've seen it in the last couple games, and hopefully that carries on. But we're getting closer on it. I'm excited about the potential this team has here for the next few weeks, that's for sure.
Craig Hannon, the head basketball coach of the Girard Indians, joining me on the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline. How weird has it been to not see nearly as many fans and nowhere near a sellout crowd at Girard High School when your kids take the floor?
Oh, it's been. I remember the first couple games, and we're used to it now. But oh my goodness, those first couple games. I mean, they felt like scrimmages. It just, and Girard usually has a good following. It's definitely been a change for us and for me. Even watching games, when we're scouting and seeing the empty gyms when normally it would be a big game. I give an example. When we were getting ready to play Poland, we watched Poland and Struthers. Well, that game at Struthers Fieldhouse probably would have had close to 2,500 people. Well, there were probably 25 people in the crowd. Those things you really, really notice. We played Niles the other night, and there was a decent amount of people in the gym. But normally for a Girard-Niles game, that place would have been pretty full, and it's definitely something you notice even as an outsider watching a game that isn't your own.
Do you find yourself thinking that, okay, there's not a whole lot of people here. If a kid does something that annoys the living heck out of me, I got to watch my P's and Q's so I don't really embarrass the kid because, let's face it, sellout crowd or a large crowd, they're not going to hear you chastise a kid. But if there's hardly anyone in the gym, yeah, you're going to be heard, especially if you're yelling at a kid. Does that thought cross your mind when someone comes out of the game that did not do a very good job?
You might have to ask my players that one. I don't know if I'm the best one. You might want to ask them and see if it's something they've noticed. I know that even during my timeout, I know I can feel more eyes on me because everyone can hear what I'm saying. But on that end, I keep it professional. I know. I think I know what to say and what not to say to kids at this point in my career. But it's definitely something my players might have a different opinion on because it is. As I stated earlier, I'm a very loud guy, and I wear my emotions on my sleeve. So maybe they'd have a different opinion than I have.
Greg, before we let you go, we've talked about the Northeast 8. One of the things that I absolutely love about this conference is just the competition in all sports. The competition level from these 8 schools is just absolutely incredible. And we talked a little bit about this in the early part of the interview, how important this conference is to get you prepared for the tournament. It's a meat grinder schedule in boys basketball, that's for sure.
Well, it's the best for my money at our level. Most of us are at the Division II level when it comes to tournament time, and I think 6 of the 8 schools are Division II, and the 2 that are Division III are Jefferson and South Range. Jefferson's full of talent. Obviously, South Range is well coached and ready to go. So I think it's a well-coached league. There's a lot of guys in this league that I respect as coaches, and I think we admire each other's programs from afar and the things we do. The players are always ready to roll. It's just a tough league, and if you win in the Northeast 8, you're doing something right. I felt that way. This is our 3rd year now, and I felt that way since we got in it, and I still feel that way. If you're winning games in the Northeast 8, you're doing something right, and I'm proud to be a part of this league, and I hope we can continue this relationship in this league for a long time to come.
I know you have a really, really young team this year. Senior leadership, how have you been leaning on your seniors or your upperclassmen to provide that leadership?
Well, Nick Carrio's the returning senior we have. He's done a great job for us. He's being put in positions just because we are so young that maybe he's not comfortable with, and he's still learning that, but he's still doing a nice job for us. He comes out and plays hard. He sets the tone for us, and I'm really proud of the way Nick has handled this year, because it is hard playing with a bunch of young guys that are still trying to get their feet wet. But, we've made Nick do a little more than he's normally used to doing, and I think he's handling that very well.
You're a team I wouldn't want to play in the first round of the tournament, because it's just the wild card in all of this is, all right, if the kids look at this and don't put any pressure on them whatsoever, and they don't care about how bright the spotlight is, your team will pull off an upset or two in the tournament if they have that mindset.
Well, I hope so, and I think just with the experience of playing, they'll get better. It's always about matchups come tournament time, too. Sometimes you draw a great draw, and other times you get a tough matchup. But I think this year more than ever, just because, one, the super districts make it harder, but two, you don't see as many teams because of COVID. There's a lot of unknown element to it, and I think if our kids understand that, we're just going to go out and play our hardest, that, no matter what happens, you give someone their best shot in the tournament, any given night something can happen. So I'm hoping that's the case, and I'm hoping the kids believe in that as well, because I sure do.
Now, fill me in on something. Do you get the choice of which district you want to go to, or how does that work, Coach?
Yeah, so it'll be ranked. I believe there are. I don't know the exact number. I think it's around 36 teams, or maybe less. Maybe less than that. But I'm pretty sure that there will be two brackets for our little district. And the number one seed, whoever that may be, gets to go. Then the number two seed gets to go. And then number three, and you place yourself in one of the two brackets. So as opposed to what it used to be, where there was one bracket with 13 or so teams, it might be even 26 teams this year.
Yeah, there's 26 teams this year, so it's 13 in each bracket.
13, okay. So
you get an opportunity to choose which bracket you want to go to.
Yep, either one. You can go, whether it's top or bottom, right or left, you can choose either one. Yes, sir.
I mean, with all of the talent that is in this tournament, you don't want to. This is kind of a political game, because let's say that you are given the choice, and Cheney's in one side and Poland's or Struthers is in the other side, and you're like, well, I don't want to play on this bracket. I'm going to go with the other bracket. Well, you know that the team that is the big dog in that bracket's going to look at you and go, oh, okay, you wanted to play us, huh? I mean, this is without ticking anyone off. And I don't think anyone means to do that. You can see where by choosing which side you want to go, you could offend someone.
Oh, sure. I mean, that's always been a part of it, though. When I started at Girard, we got to pick where you went, and I remember being in meetings that we'd go on the board, and 2 or 3 teams would jump right behind us because LeBray was in our district, and no one wanted to play Peyton Aldridge. Well, being as young and dumb as I was, I didn't take it that way, and I'd let our kids know, hey, these teams are ready to play you. We're taking that as an insult, and I think it gives you a little edge. But at the same time, you're on the other end of it. If you're picking where you want to go, you can say, hey, guys, we picked the best matchup. We believe we can win this game. We aren't scared of them, and we're going to go in and give it our best shot. So you can look at it both ways, and same thing this year. You can – if Cheney, Struthers, or whoever the top dogs are go on the board and all the teams go in one area, you can use that as motivation, no question about it.
Well, it's a heck of a lot better than back in the day when all the coaches met in the tournaments, and you essentially, to the person's face, said, "Oh, I'm going to go over here." I mean, it just
when I started, that's what it was.
Yeah,
you were in a room.
I mean that can get uncomfortable at times when you sit back and go, "Oh yeah, we'll take this pill. Yeah, I'll go over here." And you're looking dead at that coach saying, "Bring it on, son, because my team's ready."
Or, you used to vote in person too, where the rankings were voted on that day.
Yeah.
So, they would call out, Jerome votes so-and-so this number. And you had to have enough guts in that room to maybe put someone below or ahead of you that maybe you beat or they beat you, or you feel their schedule wasn't as strong. It was definitely a different element when you were sitting in a classroom face-to-face because there was some tension. Now everything's done online and you can hide behind the computer screen. But I'm curious to see how these super districts break out and how it works out, because there's mixed emotions about it, but at the same time, I'm interested to see how it works.
Well, us members of the media still get who everyone seated, so don't do a Dabo Sweeney and put someone number 11, all right?
No, you know what? I try to keep it fair, because I'd end up being like Clemson and vote someone where they shouldn't. They'll come in and beat my butt, and I'll look back and regret it. But no, I'm going to try to keep it as fair as possible and not put an Ohio State 11, that's for sure.
Hey, Craig, best of luck to you the rest of the way. I look forward to seeing the Girard Indians in the tournament.
Thanks, Ron. Thanks for having me. Always enjoy the show.
I appreciate it. Craig Hannon, the head basketball coach of the Girard Indians. This is going to be fun. And, let's go over here. I mean, even though you don't mean to disrespect someone, you do. I mean, you don't mean to, but, you're looking out for your team's best interest. You're sitting back and saying, oh, yeah, we think we have a better chance over here. And the team that you might be going up against in the first round, they're going to look at you and go, oh, you think you have a better chance against us? Okay. Let's see what your team's made of there, tough guy. You coaches can take it the wrong way, and there can be some tension. There can be some serious tension. There's no two ways about that. We're going to take a timeout. On the other side, we will hear from the head basketball coach at Westminster. Kevin Saroki will be joining the show in just a bit. We will talk D3 basketball coming up. Stick around. Friday edition of Running Point continues after this timeout.
Hello, I'm Greg Burbick with G. Burbick Farms. For the last 100 years, my family has farmed in Columbiana and Mahoning counties. I began raising cattle in 1996 with the goal of providing a better product for you and your family on the dinner table. Our grass-fed and grain-supplemented Black Angus beef are raised with no hormones, steroids, or antibiotics. We're known for our hometown-friendly service and incredible tasting products. We're locally owned and have customers across the tri-state area. Our products go from our farm to your family. Stop by our farm on New Buffalo Road or visit us on the web at gburbickfarms.com. Don't forget to like us on Facebook. G. Burbick Farms, it just tastes better.
Hi, this is Tommy Clem, owner of WRS Insurance Solutions.
WRS Insurance Solutions is a local independent agency that specializes in life, Medicare, long-term care, and disability products. Call us at 330-953-3722 or visit us at wrsinsurancesolutions.com to learn more.
Good luck to all the student athletes in the Valley.
Right now is a great time to get more for your trade-in at Tri-State Ford and drive home in a new or pre-owned vehicle. Choose from our great selection of new Ford models or pre-owned vehicles. Plus, get the Tri-State Ford Advantage, including a 10-year, 200,000-mile warranty and more. At Tri-State Ford, we'll pay you top dollar for your trade, but you don't have to purchase one of ours to sell us yours.
Customer focus, community driven. Tri-State Ford East Liverpool or visit tristateford.net.
Welcome back to a Friday edition of Running Points presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. All right, we've been talking some high school hoops. Let's get to the college level. Division III specifically in the President's Athletic Conference. That is a fantastic conference with a bunch of teams from Western Pennsylvania and beyond. And joining me on the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline, the head basketball coach at Westminster, the Westminster Titans. Kevin Saroki. Coach, how are you today?
Everything's great. It's great to be back on the court and being around the guys.
Yeah, let me ask you, you guys just started your season. COVID has really hit Division III basketball, and well, all of college basketball, but specifically D3 basketball. It's really hit the smaller colleges for sure.
Yeah, definitely. We're not like a Division I who have a lot of support as far as budget-wise and things like that. So, we need to have kids on campus and different things like that to keep, especially the small private colleges running. So we're happy again to be back on campus, in-person classes, and yeah, we just feel that feel for all the kids out there, high school kids, college guys, that we're fortunate because we're playing. A lot of Division II, Division III schools aren't even playing. So like I tell our guys every day, just be fortunate that we're on the court and being around each other.
You were supposed to start the season last Saturday at Geneva over in Beaver Falls. That game got canceled, so you open up the season on Wednesday night, a victory over Franciscan. The game was played in New Wilmington, where Westminster is located. You got a victory over Franciscan, 99-77. For game number one, that's a heck of a story to put up 99 points in game number one, Coach.
Yeah, we didn't know what to expect coming out from the guys. I know they're excited, just to see smile on their faces, through their mask, that they're happy to be on the court, and all the hard work they put in from last year. We've been off for almost a year to see it come to fruition, to be able to get on the court and be able to get out there and play with, be with their teammates. And we were fortunate to come out with the victory. Little sloppy play here and there, but they play a style of game that it's up tempo and press you a lot. So we were able to get some easy looks, and guys took advantage of it.
I know there's a lot of people that'll sit back and go, well, we're really loving Division I basketball, and my response to that is, hey, Division II and Division III is pretty solid basketball, and it's a great landing spot for some kids. And speaking of landing spots, we got a lot of kids from our area on the Ohio side that made the short journey to New Wilmington. Daniel Ritter is a senior this year. He played his high school basketball at South Range. Andrew Clark, he played his high school basketball at Springfield. It's his freshman year. Austin O'Hara from Girard, this will be his sophomore year. Reese Leone from West Branch, it's his freshman year. A couple of other kids, Jordan Zupko from Mineral Ridge, this will be his sophomore year. Tyler James transferred from Penn State Shenango. He's from the Valley. So you got a number of kids that are certainly from the Mahoning Valley that are playing basketball for you this year.
Yeah, it's been great. Last 5-6 years, we were able to recruit a couple of great kids, a lot of great kids from the Mahoning Valley area. I grew up and played at, I'm a Mineral Ridge guy, so I know the talent in the area, and we've been very successful with recruiting a lot of guys from the Mahoning Valley, and the last couple of years, and we're going to continue to do that. And a lot of people were Westminster kind of tucked away in a little spot in New Wilmington, and it's a lot of people, when they come over for visits, they can't believe how close it is to the Youngstown area. It's only 25 minutes from Youngstown, so it's great for them to have their parents be able to come over and watch games a lot, through their career, and be able to go home, and they need to go home as far as just the proximity of where Westminster's at. But all these guys have been tremendous for us. The Ritters, Anthony and Dan Ritter are great for us. Dan scored 31 and 10 the other night, so he started off his senior year on a great note. Tyler James is from Warren JFK, and Austin O'Hara and his older brother Dylan played for us last year. He's played a year in the conference, and then Andrew Clark and Reese Leone, a freshman that stepped in and played a lot of minutes. Actually, Reese started for us on Wednesday night, and Drew played 28 minutes. And Jordan Zupko from Mineral Ridge. You got to try to keep those alumni guys around, and coming from Mineral Ridge, we got to try to get. And he's done a tremendous job for us. So those local guys mixing with other guys from Pittsburgh area and other parts of the country have really helped our program, and our program has flourished.
Kevin Saroki, he's the head basketball coach at Westminster College. It's a beautiful, beautiful campus over in New Wilmington. Last year, I was over there. Either last year or a couple of years ago, I was over there. There was a professor that spoke on baseball pre Jackie Robinson days. And it was just, I had an opportunity to see the campus. Oh, my gosh, Coach, that campus is absolutely gorgeous.
Yes, I tell everybody, it's all recruits and their families. I think their parents, when they come here, they see, again, the proximity is close to the home. Then also they see that, we live in a bubble up here. It's a great bubble. I don't lock my doors in my car or anything like that. And I think their parents feel that their kids are going to be safe as far as, when they're living on campus. And then, and they're going to get a great education, and also, and use basketball as an avenue of getting their degree and moving on and having a successful career in whatever they do.
You got a really good conference, the President Athletic Conference, Geneva, which isn't too far away at Beaver Falls, Bethany College over in Bethany, West Virginia, Waynesburg, which is in Waynesburg, PA, Washington and Jefferson, Teal College, which is north of you, in Greenville, PA, St. Vincent and Chatham as well. It's a very solid conference that you guys are in.
Yes, we got, every game you got to strap it up. There's no per se give me's in our conference. So every night, we got to strap it up. And like tomorrow, we travel to Bethany, and it's another game. And so every day we prepare from yesterday and today we prepare for Bethany and then move on to the next game. But like you said, it's competitive league, and it's a great league. And a lot of people think that Division III basketball is like glorified high school. But if you look down through our roster, every one of our kids on our team was a high school all-star, first team all-state, or whatever it is. So if you come watch Division III basketball, which unfortunately we can't have any fans this year, but if you watch even online, that it's very competitive, and you can see how big and strong our guys are and how competitive they are.
Coach, in a normal recruiting world without COVID, what's the basketball player that you're looking to attract for Westminster? What kind of a basketball player are you looking for?
Well, first of all, if they're going to fit in with our team, we come on campus and we try to, introduce them to our team and have them spend an overnight and hang out with our guys and see if they fit in with them. And also, you're looking at when you go, obviously a lot of coaches, when we go recruit, we already know they're good players. I always look for the little things, if their body language when they get a foul call them, or if the coach takes them out of the game, how do they react when they think they shouldn't be taken out of the game? I look for all the little things. Guys with good character, guys who are good in the classroom. Our team GPA is a 3.3, so our guys are very conscious about their grades, which is great because they know not a lot of kids get an opportunity to go overseas or play in the NBA from Division I to Division III. So they're very we're on top of their grades, and I'm really proud of what they've done in the classroom. So we're looking for all that mixture of kids, and there's a lot of good kids out there and a lot of good players, but we're looking for the guys that come in and I, as a player, and I was fortunate to play at Westminster and be an alum, I was always not the biggest guy, but we've always hardworking and being great teammates. That's what I really look for.
Yeah, it's tough to recruit the kids when you don't have a full ride scholarship per se. In Division III, very few of those running around, but you sell the campus and you sell the team culture. It's not that hard to get some quality kids into your campus. As I mentioned before, the campus is absolutely gorgeous. I stepped foot on that campus, and the inner 18, 19-year-old in me came out saying, "What the hell? Why didn't you go to this college? This is a gorgeous, gorgeous college."
Right, and that's when I got recruited here, and fortunately, I'm sure you heard of Carl Coker, who was, I was at We Are Marshall, and he's my uncle, and he was a football coach at Westminster at the time when I came out of high school, and that's probably one of the main reasons I came here. And then, my mom got on campus, and basically it was over when she stepped on campus because, like she said, basically you're coming here and you're not going anywhere else. So, again, like you said, it's a great campus, and we've been able to have other kids from the area who've been very successful and moved on in life and been successful, like, A.J. Grant from JFK. We have Blake Payne from Jefferson, Jared Brable, you probably know from Canfield. Deontay Scott from Youngstown East, and then Dylan O'Hara from Girard. You know, they've all graduated, and a couple guys scored 1,000 points for us, and they've helped our program succeed and keep going at a higher level. So I'm proud of what and Preston Stitt, who's tremendous for us as well. So we're happy to recruit all those kids from the Youngstown area. And when I go, step in gyms and knowing most of the high school coaches in that area, it's great to step in there with Westminster, representing Westminster.
Coach, let's talk about the very shortened version of the 2020-2021 campaign. Is it strictly going to be conference play, or do you have some non-conference games on the schedule this year?
No, we're on a 9-game schedule, and obviously that we have one game postponed already. So hopefully we can get that in, made up in the back of at the end of February. We got an open date, and I believe Geneva has an open date. But again, everything's fluid, just like I guess everything else in the world. So we're just, we tell our guys, it can change from one day to another. So let's just be thankful that we get through day by day. And then, we get tested for the COVID test 3 days a week. So, which is a lot of fun doing that. But, the guys have been, we've been negative and so we're able to practice, be able to play. So we're playing a 9-game schedule and that's all conference games. We have 10 teams in conference. Then we'll have a conference tournament the first week of March. That's scheduled right now. And Division III hasn't came out and said if they're going to have a NCAA Division III NCAA tournament yet. So we're just waiting on that as well.
Is there a chance that you guys do get the NCAA Division III tournament?
I would hope so. That's not here, but I don't know what's going to be going on with that. We're our model for our motto for our team this year was just us. So we're kind of just worrying about us. I'm worrying about our guys. So whatever the NCAA comes out with or our league comes out with, we'll deal with that. But we're kind of in our own little bubble. So I look at my guys every day in practice, and I'm just glad to see those guys. That's all.
Kevin Saroki, he is the head basketball coach at Westminster College, a gorgeous, gorgeous college over in New Wilmington, PA, just inside the Ohio-Pennsylvania border. Coach, before we let you go, in a normal campaign, what is the off-season like for the basketball program?
Well, we Division III, you got to be, and I tell all the recruits and all of our players, they all know that you got to be self-motivated because that's the last game of the year, which, last year was March, right before COVID, so we got our season in. But from that last game of the year until October 15th in a normal year, that we're not allowed to, we're not allowed to have the guys, we're not allowed to see them in the gym. We can't watch them play pickup ball. We can't work out with them. We can give them workouts to do. So they got to be self-motivated. We're allowed in the weight room with them only because of precautionary areas. But other than that, we can't be around them. So it's a lot tougher. High schools have more opportunity to be around their kids than we do. We can't even do anything in the summertime with them. So our guys are really self-motivated, and that's what we got to do. But we really get in the weight room. I'm sure you heard the name Brian Daniloff, who's been my assistant for 4 years now. He has done a tremendous job with our guys in the weight room. We have Dale Blaney. I'm sure everybody's known that name from racing, but he was one heck of a basketball player at Badger in West Virginia and, with the Lakers. And he's been tremendous for us. And we have our grad assistant, who's Doug Caputo, who played at Mooney, then played at John Carroll a couple years ago. So, we got a lot of Youngstown connections, and it's been great. And all those guys do a tremendous job in the off-season with us as well.
I got to believe that the first thing that you're looking at, not just the basketball talent, but outside the basketball talent, I got to believe now that you've told me what the off-season consists of, the person who you want to bring on board in Westminster has to be motivated. Otherwise, you're not going to have a future.
Yeah, that's what it's about. And a lot of people don't realize that at our level that we just can't, by the rules, by the NCAA rules, that we just, we can't be in the gym with them. And, after, say, spring break, in a normal year, then when we get back after spring break, we're in the weight room, but we're not, unfortunately, we can't be on the court with them and work out with them and all that stuff. So it's tough because it's hard to, to restrain yourself from when they're out, out in playing open gym in the springtime or in the fall when they come back. And we're not allowed to do that, and it's against the rules. So, I give my guys a lot of credit. And especially through this year, they've been so resilient in being able to, leave March 10th last year. I think March 10th our last game of the year was, and everything shut down, and be able to go home and be online and, come back. And so I'm just so proud of my guys of what they did, through this stuff, plus in the classroom. So I'm more proud of the guys now that we're back at it, and just to see the smiles on their faces and being around those guys. They keep me young, and I'm getting an old man now, and I try to still get in practice, but, my mind says yes, my body says no.
Coach, best of luck to you on Saturday and through the course of the season.
Great. Thank you very much for having me.
You got it. Kevin Saroki, he is the head basketball coach at Westminster. And, again, we hear so often about, well, you got to go to Division I. Wait a second. There's plenty of options that a player can have in any sport. It's not just Division I. If you are capable of going to a D2 or a D3 school, it's not glorified high school. It's an upper level, the next level, and the President's Athletic Conference. That's a good conference. I mean, look, Grove City's in it, Teal is in it, Washington and Jefferson, Waynesburg, Bethany College. There's some good schools. We made mention Geneva. That's the school that right across it. Well, our studios are in East Palestine. So if you take 14, maybe a mile down the road, you're into Pennsylvania. Stay on 14, go through Chippewa, and you'll turn off and go into Beaver Falls. I mean, that's where Geneva is. It's a hop, skip, and a jump from East Palestine. A hop, skip, and a jump from Columbiana. New Wilmington is not that far away from Youngstown and from the schools around the Mahoning Valley. It's definitely a gorgeous campus that I will be more than ready to endorse, because I had an opportunity, as I mentioned a couple of years ago. There was a person that was speaking at Westminster about the Negro Leagues and about Jackie Robinson and his plight to Major League Baseball. And I'm always looking, as a baseball historian, I'm always looking for something to watch and to be a witness to. And that was fantastic. But more importantly, an opportunity to see this campus and see how gorgeous it is. My God, Westminster is just absolutely phenomenal. We'll take a timeout. On the other side, we'll take some phone calls before we bring in Dolph Carroll, the head basketball coach at Valley Christian School, the newest member of the EOAC. They're right up there in the depths of a tremendous race for the league championship. And we'll catch up with Coach Carroll at the top of the hour. Take a timeout, be back with more. It's a Friday edition of Running Points presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown.
No matter what the weather, be prepared with a reliable, efficient Rude gas furnace or air conditioner from MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning. Call your energy-efficient expert, MP Vivo, today for a free estimate.
Here at MP Vivo, we rely on Rude, and so should you.
Myers Family Insurance knows the importance of a great team.
Our team continues to grow to help you with your Medicare and retirement needs.
The annual election period is October 15th through December 7th. Now's the time to make sure your plan continues to meet your needs for the upcoming year.
Call today.
High-res Futurecast shows steady snow for the next few hours.
Still just downright cold.
It is bitter out there.
Several strong bands of lake effect snow.
Winds is kind of the big story today as well.
So if you need a more detailed winter forecast on WFMJ.com and the Storm Tracker 21 app.
I went to Greenwood Chevrolet because I was really interested in looking at the tracks.
Because I wanted my dream truck.
Because I've been going there for 20 years.
I'm really happy that I went
to Greenwood Chevrolet.
Because they really went
the extra mile for me.
Now we're going the extra mile for you, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Planning a project around your home or rental property? Trust the electrical service to the local experts with 62 years of serving the Mahoning Valley. Joe Dickey Electric is your local go-to source for responsive, reliable residential electrical work. From everyday maintenance and repairs to new installations, electrical upgrades, and safety inspections, no job is too big or too small. Call Joe Dickey Electric today, 800-549-3976, or visit DickeyElectric.com. That's DickeyElectric.com.
WRS Wealth Advisors is the area's premier wealth and retirement specialist. With our combined 70 years experience and comprehensive wealth strategy, we assist our clients attain their goals. Call 330-965-0370 to learn more about our individual and corporate financial planning services, or visit WRSWealthAdvisors.com. Good luck, athletes!
Hi everyone, this is DJ Yoakley with Your Sports Network. We appreciate your support of YSN and welcome you to the YSN family. Our broadcast streams are brought to you live at no cost to you by sponsors that are local to this community. Without the vision and generosity of our sponsors and partners, we would not be able to bring this game to you today. So please support the great businesses and leaders that are making this game possible. And if you're a business in need of great advertising and sponsorship opportunities, feel free to head over to our site for more information on the right fit for you. We are local, we are loyal, and we are live. We are YSN.
Ah, the details. Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods is one fine ride. Perfect cornering, superb handling, sporty and stylish, power to spare, plus awesome mileage. Yeah, jaw-droppingly beautiful lines and well appointed with luxurious trim. Put more oomph in your life and start beholding the molding. Find your home's fine hardwood at BairdBrothers.com.
For heating, cooling, and indoor air quality, the Mahoning Valley trusts MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning, offering worry-free repair, service, and installation. Call MP Vivo today for a free estimate.
MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning. We're your energy-efficient experts.
Welcome back to a Friday edition of Running Point, presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. If you're in the market for a new or slightly used automobile, you owe it to yourself before you make that commitment. You owe it to yourself to go over to Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. Give those folks an opportunity to win your business. Just give them an opportunity. And I'll guarantee you'll have a really good experience over at Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. All right, lots of stuff going on today on the network. Again, our wrestling coverage, and no, we're not talking about Nature Boy Ric Flair. No, not that wrestling. High school wrestling. The real wrestling, not the throw someone off the top rope, land an elbow, and take a steel chair and pop them upside the head. No, that stuff. No, we don't do that stuff. Not that I'd love to broadcast one of those things, but no, the high school wrestling. EOWL tournament at Austintown Fitch High School. Our coverage begins at 3 o'clock this afternoon from Fitch High School. JV basketball tonight from Edison High School. Toronto is at Edison. Varsity-only game tonight. Cardinal Mooney coming off a loss against Ursuline last night, out of the frying pan and into the fire as they go to the west side of Youngstown to take on the Cheney Cowboys. Yikes. Back-to-back, Ursuline and Cheney. Good God, that's a nightmare. All right, here are your 7 o'clock games. And again, as everyone knows by now, the 7 o'clock game is actually a little before or a little after, depending on the JV game. Here is your 7 o'clock games. Howland is at Boardman, Liberty at Champion, United at Columbiana, LeBray is at Crestview, Beaver Local at East Liverpool, Toronto is at Edison, Struthers at Girard, Hoban will travel to Louisville, Marlington is at Salem, Badger is at Ursuline, McDonald at Waterloo. That is going to be a good game tonight. And Minerva is at West Branch. Those are the games tonight on the network. And again, open look tonight with Mike Ackelson and the boys here in the studios of YSN. That's courtesy of WRS Wealth Advisors. They sponsor Open Look. Not only do they sponsor that, they have also sponsored high school basketball this year. One of the reasons why you're not paying $9.99 with 25% going to the local school. That would be because of a very nice donation courtesy of our good friends at WRS Wealth Advisors. They're the reason why you don't have to pay $9.99 to watch a basketball game. So we certainly thank the good folks at WRS Wealth Advisors. And they are sponsoring Open Look with Mike Ackelson and the fellas, here in the studios of YSN. Lots of games tonight on the network, as I mentioned, and be some good basketball, really good basketball tonight. All right, we've made mention, being that it's the supersized districts are now out. And we made mention D4, D3, D2, D1. Everyone it now knows who is in the tournament. Now, when do we find out about the tournament? Well, here's the deal. The tournament location and all of that other stuff is going to be coming up very shortly. The seedings and the tournament draw will take place on February the 7th. The tournament draw and the seedings will take place on February the 7th. The sectional tournaments are actually going to start on February the 15th. So they're actually going to start on February the 15th. That's when the tournaments are going to start. So here's the reality, kids. You got about 2.5 weeks of basketball left in the regular season. Because the tournaments are going to start on February the 15th, that means that the regular season is going to end 2 weeks from tomorrow. So you got 15 days of basketball left. We were under the impression that the tournament was going to start on February the 22nd. Oh, no. Au contraire, mon frere. The tournament is going to start 1 week early. So February the 15th is when the sectional tournaments are going to start. That is 2 weeks from Monday. And then the district tournaments will get going March the 1st. The regional tournaments will get going on March the 8th. And then the state Final Four in Divisions 4, 3, 2, and 1, they will get underway March the 18th at St. John Arena. That's the former home of the Ohio State Buckeyes. The state tournaments will be Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, March the 18th, 19th, and 20th. So the high school basketball season for the boys will come to a close on Saturday, March the 20th at St. John Arena with 4 state champions. The tournament draw next Sunday. Next Sunday is the tournament draw. Next Monday, we'll break down the tournaments, Anthony and I, 1 week from Monday. We'll break down the tournaments, and then the sectional tournaments start 2 weeks from Monday. So with the girls being 1 week behind, their tournament draw is Sunday. The seeds, the whole 9 yards, will know the tournament draw this coming Sunday. This coming Monday, girls basketball tournament draw will take place. And in 2 weeks, 2 weeks from Monday, that would be, February the February the 8th. Actually, no, February the 8th will get started. So in 1 week, that next Monday, the girls' tournament will start. Girls' tournament's going to start on February the 8th. They're 1 week ahead of the guys. So their tournament draw is Sunday. And then Anthony and I will talk about it on Monday. Their regular season ends in 8 days. The girls' regular season ends in 8 days. The guys' regular season ends in 15 days. So you better get your games in, as many of them as humanly possible, before you start the sectional tournament. And again, like in the football tournament, where everyone was invited. Now, whether you decided to go or not, that's another story. But everyone was invited. And the rule is going to be the exact same rule as it was in football. If by some chance a team has a COVID outbreak and they're scheduled to play on that particular day, their season's done. They won't be playing. And the team that is the beneficiary of that moves on, and the team that has COVID goes home. That'll be it. Now, the OHSAA has said if you have not played your entire season and you have an interest in playing your rest of your season schedule, so if someone has 18 games on their schedule, they go to the tournament, they get bounced, and you want to play 4 more games to get you to your 22-game tournament, you're allowed to do that up until March the 20th. On March the 20th, state champions will be crowned at St. John Arena, the former home of the Ohio State Buckeyes, on March the 20th. That is a Saturday, March the 20th at St. John Arena, Division 1, 2, 3, and 4. They will be crowned state champs on Saturday, March the 20th. That is the last day of high school basketball for boys in the state of Ohio. For the girls, the last day of high school basketball will be March the 13th. That is when the girls will have their state champions crowned in Divisions 1, 2, 3, and 4. And as I mentioned, on Sunday, we'll have the girls' tournament draw complete with the seeds, and everybody is going to know who they're playing. Come Monday, Anthony and I are going to have a lot of dissecting to do when we start talking about the tournaments. And oh, by the way, the girls' tournament will start 1 week from Monday, where the guys will start their tournaments 2 weeks from Monday. So we're getting near the nitty-gritty, kids, and hopefully everyone will be able to get their league schedules in prior to the end of the regular season. All right, 330-886-0813, the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline open for business, 330-886-0813. Dolph Carroll from Valley Christian School is set to call us in a little bit. We have the D4, D3, D2, and D1 high school basketball sectional and district tournaments. What an array of talents we got in these 4 districts. We've talked a little bit about it. We'll take a time out. When we come back, we'll hear from Dolph Carroll, the head basketball coach at Valley Christian School. He's coming up next. Stick around.
New things happen all day. Some are good, some not so good. In today's complicated world, while you're busy working, playing, and living life, we're busy helping you make sense of the day's news. And there's only one place where it comes together with clarity, context, and accountability. It's 21 News at 6 with me, Madison Tromler, and Derek Steyer.
21 News at 6. It's what the day's news really means to you.
Welcome home to a home made homier with Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods. Inspiration starts at BairdBrothers.com and is turned into reality when high-quality hardwoods are delivered right to your home. Baird Brothers has the latest design trends, shiplap and skinny lap interior siding, antique oak rustic flooring. And, well, you'll find them all at BairdBrothers.com. Ordered easily, delivered conveniently, enjoyed comfortably. BairdBrothers.com.
WRS Wealth Advisors, the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists. Located on South Avenue in Boardman.
Hi, this is Jim Myers with Myers Family Insurance, your local Medicare and retirement resource. We're excited to have sports back. Whether you're on the field or cheering from the stands, sports unifies communities and brings hope for the future. We're all one team working together. At Myers Family Insurance, we know the importance of a great team.
Our team continues to grow to help you with your Medicare and retirement needs.
The annual election period is October 15th through December 7th. Now's the time to make sure your plan continues to meet your needs for the upcoming year.
Call today.
Hi, I'm Colin Chupa. And I'm Kelsey Clem from K-Squared Marketing. Our boutique marketing firm specializes in media planning and buying, public relations, event marketing strategies, and strategic sponsorships. We can integrate our services with your existing game plan, or we can be your entire marketing team. Your goals, our game plan. Let's win together. Call K-Squared Marketing at 330-623-2730 or visit ksquared.marketing to learn more.
Baird Brothers remains your source for fine hardwood products. For the time being, we're open for customer pickup only on weekdays 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Saturday from 9 a.m. till noon. Place your order online at BairdBrothers.com. Baird Brothers, for the place you love.
Quality, customer service, and integrity. Those are the 4 words that have driven our success since 1957 at Joe Dickey Electric.
Joe Dickey Electric is one Mahoning Valley landmark business that stays current with the requirements of our customers. Family owned and managed, we are an electrical contractor and energy solutions provider. Every member of our team adds to his or her skill set through ongoing training. Residential, commercial, industrial, automotive, and more. We keep ahead of the needs of our customers with a fleet of more than 50 vehicles and 24/7 emergency service, so you're never left in the dark.
The 4M Company, being an architect and construction manager for over 40 years, has had the opportunity to use many different electrical businesses for our projects. The depth, quality, and knowledge and attention to detail displayed by Dickey Electric makes them stand out above all the rest.
For state-of-the-art expertise and a timeless commitment to our customers, contact Joe Dickey Electric. We are everything electrical.
I went to Greenwood Chevrolet because I was really interested in looking at the tracks.
Because I wanted my dream truck.
Because I've been going there for 20 years. I think whenever we go there, whatever car we're looking for, they have tremendous inventory.
If you're looking for people who care about you, Greenwood is the place to go.
You know, it's like family there. The girls know me in service. It's Miss Kim in the Tahoe.
I'm really happy that I went
to Greenwood Chevrolet.
Because they really went
the extra mile for me.
Now we're going the extra mile for you, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Local teams are heating up the hardwoods, and you can keep up with all the action on and off the court with Five Guys Hoop News all season long on 21 Sports.
Welcome back to a Friday edition of Running Point presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. The MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline open for business, 330-886-0813. That's 330-886-0813. Awaiting the head coach of the Valley Christian School, Dolph Carroll, who is scheduled to be joining us momentarily. We made mention the districts are out. The Super Size Me districts are out. D4, 3, 2, and 1. We've talked a lot about this today. As we mentioned, next Sunday will be the tournament draw. The seeds will be announced. The tournament draw will be announced as well. And then next Monday, Anthony and I will talk about it. And then 2 weeks from Monday, we will have tournament basketball. It starts 2 weeks from Monday, tournament basketball. As we go into Division 4, we'll once again let everyone know the teams that are in the supersized district tournaments will start in Division 4. This was no surprise. We made mention that given the template that the OHSAA had in the fall with the tournaments from the Mahoning Valley paired up with the tournaments to the north and northwest of the area. This is no surprise and a no-brainer. We had speculated that Division 4 and Division 3 would be easy. The Struthers District, the Grand Valley District, merge them together into one in Division 4. Division 3, the Salem District, the Harding District, merge them together, and you got a supersized D3 tournament. That's exactly what they did when supersizing D4 and D3. That was a no-brainer. Division 2, Division 1, not really a surprise, but man, the amount of talent. Good God. Let me just say, as we go through, before we go through these teams for the second or third time, let me just say, if you're playing in the tournaments this year, you'd better bring your A game every single night, because these tournaments just got a whole lot tougher. All right, here's your Division 4 Super Size Me tournament, where 2 district champions will be amongst these teams. 2 teams will advance to the regionals amongst the, how many teams do we got here? 24 teams. Badger, Bloomfield, Bristol, Brookfield, Chalker, Lisbon David Anderson, Heartland Christian, Jackson Milton, JFK, Lake Center Christian School, Leetonia, Lordstown, Lowellville, Maplewood, Matthews, McDonald, Sebring, Ashtabula St. John, St. Thomas Aquinas, Southern, Wellsville, Western Reserve, Wyndham, and Valley Christian. 24 teams. Now, you got to believe that it's going to be 12 teams in each district, and who knows if it turns out to be everyone in the Struthers District is still in the Struthers District, okay, great. Probably not going to turn out that way. And the other part of this is, if they're following the template from the fall, which right now they are, that would mean that the district tournaments in one site, that's gone. You'll now have the higher seed getting home court advantage all the way through the district championship. And then when you go to the regionals, that's when the 4 teams will go to the Canton Fieldhouse in Division 4, the Canton Fieldhouse in Division 3, the Canton Civic Center in Division 2, and I'm going to probably guess the Convocation Center on the campus of Cleveland State University in Division 1. I'm going to guess that's going to be the regional tournament for Division 1. But those are the 24 teams in Division 4. That's impressive. That's really impressive, because there's more than a handful of teams that can very, very easily make a case to be a district semifinalist. And yet there's only going to be, 8 teams. 8 of the 24 teams will have district semifinal district semifinal reality. The other 16 teams will not be going to the district semifinals. And actually, no, I take that back. Yeah, it'll be 8 teams. So 16 of the 24 teams will not be going to the district semifinals. So if you have district semifinal aspirations, well, you better play some damn good basketball, because those 24 schools that I just mentioned, that's some pretty talented schools that I just mentioned. Division 3, you're looking at the same amount of number of teams, 24. So it'll be 12 teams in each district. You'll have the Salem district, the Warren Harding district. Well, I mean, they're going to be separated into 2 districts, and you'll have 12 teams in each district. Here are the 24 teams in Division 3. Burton Berkshire, Cardinal Mooney, Champion, Columbiana, Conneaut, Crestview, Crestwood, East Palestine, Garrettsville Garfield, Grand Valley, Jefferson, LeBray, Liberty, Camel Memorial, Mineral Ridge, Newton Falls, Pymatuning Valley, Rootstown, South Range, Southeast, Springfield, United, Waterloo. There's some pretty big names there. there's some pretty big names. And again, 24 teams. The reality is 16 of the 24 teams that I just mentioned will not go to a district semifinal. There's some pretty big names that I just mentioned amongst the 24 teams in the Super Size Me Division 3 tournament. Now let's go to Division 2. And here's where things really get entertaining. Division 2, you're looking now at 26 teams, 13 teams in each district. And Division 2, oh boy, is there some serious talent. Here are the 26 teams: Canfield, Canton South, Chagrin Falls, Cheney, Chardon, Youngstown East, Edgewood, Field, Geneva, Girard, Howland, Hubbard, Lakeview, Louisville, Marlington, Niles McKinley, Notre Dame Cathedral Latin, Perry, Poland, Ravenna, Salem, Streetsboro, Struthers, Ursuline, West Geauga, and West Branch. And I got those two mixed up. Alphabetically, it should have been West Branch first, and then West Geauga. 26 teams. Now you got 13 teams in each district or in each tournament draw. 18 teams are going to be going home without going to the district semifinals. And let me just say that there's going to be a lot of teams that are really good that are not going to be going to a district tournament, because Division 2 is absolutely, positively stacked. That is some really impressive talent in Division 2. And there's 26 teams, 13 teams in each bracket. Oof. Then you get to Division 1. And you thought Division 2 was impressive? Division 1 has 37 teams. You'll have 19 teams in one bracket, 18 teams in another bracket. And I will tell you right now, 29 of the 37 teams are going to go home without going into the district tournaments. And there's at least 20 teams on this list that can make a very impressive argument about their team being good enough to be one of those remaining 8 teams going to the district semifinals. This tournament in D1 is ridiculously stacked. Let me give you a rundown of the 39 teams that are going to be playing in a supersized me Division 1 district tournament. Alliance, Ashtabula Lakeside, Aurora, Austintown Fitch, Boardman, Brush, Canton McKinley, Cuyahoga Falls, Dover, Akron Ellett, Euclid, Canton Glen Oak, Greene, Harding, Painesville Harvey, Akron Archbishop Hoban, North Canton Hoover, Hudson, Massillon Jackson, Akron Kenmore Garfield, Kenston, Lake, Madison, Mayfield, Mentor, Nordonia, Akron North, East Lake North, Massillon Perry, Painesville Riverside, Theodore Roosevelt, Solon, Willoughby South, Stowe Monroe Falls, University School, Walsh Jesuit, and Massillon, Washington. That's frightening. That is frightening. 37 teams in a supersized me Division I district where you're going to split it up. 19 teams will go to one district, 18 teams will go to another district. And the reality is, kids, 29 of these 37 teams are not going to make it to the district semifinals. And I will say this right now without any hesitation. There is at least 15 teams, if not more, on this list that are good enough to be a Division I district semifinalist. And they're not going to sniff the Division I district semifinals. Man, D1 and D2, if there is a more talented supersized me tournament in the area or in the state, please let me know where, because I'm looking at this one and I just can't believe what I'm seeing. And I look at the other one, and the other side, okay, it's 34 teams. 34 teams on the other side. And there's some pretty good teams on the other side in Division I. Avon Lake, Barberton, Bedford, Berea Mid-Park, Brecksville, Broadview Heights, Brunswick, Twinsburg, Cleveland Heights, Elyria, Firestone, Garfield Heights, Highland, Lakewood, Lorraine, Maple Heights, Medina, Midview, Normandy, that's Parma, Normandy, North Olmsted, North Ridgeville, North Royalton, Olmsted Falls, Parma, Lakewood St. Ed's, Cleveland St. Ignatius, Shaker Heights, Steele, Strongsville, Valley Forge, Wadsworth, Westlake, Worcester, and Akron Copley. Some good talent. Some good talent. Nowhere close to the talent on the other side of the bracket. Not even close. It is good talent, but not even close to this side of the bracket. First of all, Menor and Hoban right now, you can just you start with those two and then work your way across to some of the other. I mean, Boardman is a fantastic Division I school, and they're one of the 15-plus teams that can make a serious case of saying, hey, we're one of the top 8 teams in this tournament. Now that you've got 37 teams, we are definitely one of the top 8 teams. You better play some really, really good basketball if you want to be a top 8 team in this particular Super Size Me district. Oh, my goodness. That is, wow, that's impressive. The Division I, that is really, 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 really impressive. And we made mention Division II. The other side of Division II, okay, St. Vincent St. Mary is on the other side, so is St. Joe's. Look, Division II, our side is pretty impressive. And I'll tell you what, the other side might be a little more impressive now that I'm looking at it. Because the other side includes some pretty fun schools. Cuyahoga Valley Christian Academy, CVCA, is on the other side. So is Benedictine. So is Parma Holy Name. So is Menor Lake Catholic. So is Parma Padua. Revere, Richland Revere. That's the school that Larry Nance Jr. went to. Cleveland Villa Angela St. Joe's. Akron St. Vincent St. Mary, East Cleveland Shaw. There's some pretty good talent on the other side of that. No two ways about it. All right, let's get to the phone lines real quick. Emmanuel, you're on the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline. What's up, brother?
Hey, my brother. I was waiting, for your guest to show up, and I was going to try to squeeze in. But that other side is pretty tough, too. I mean, Garfield Heights, they're tough in the tournament, no matter what their record is. St. Edward's going to show up. They're going to have a couple big guys. And, Ignatius is going to go ahead and get it. And there's a couple other teams. Now, yeah, there's the tournament closer to us is a better tournament, but it's not as the biggest gap as you think it is, man, because them other teams can play, too.
Well, they're top-heavy. They're top-heavy, but they don't have near the amount of teams that can legitimately say we're a Final 8 team, because there's 37 teams in the supersized district that Harding is in. Harding, Boardman, and Fitch. And I'm going to tell you right now, Emmanuel, at least, and I'm on the short end of this, at 15, I think that's closer to 20 teams that can legitimately sit back and say, we are good enough to get to the district semifinals. That's a lot of teams and a lot of teams that will ultimately go home not getting a district semifinal berth.
Well, I think, but we're going to see some pretty good teams around here, too. Harding's going to have a real good tournament, really, really good tournament. They do every year.
Well,
and I like one of Struthers, too.
No, I anticipate Harding to, in the final 15 games, there are 15 days between now and the end of the regular season, which is February the 13th. I anticipate Harding to play a number of basketball games, and they'll be ready. I think they will be ready come February 15th when the sectional tournament gets underway.
You better believe it. But, I wanted to talk to you. I was trying to squeeze this in. I wanted to talk to you because something might happen this weekend. But I don't know, because the Pittsburgh Steelers, they signed Canada. I knew they was going to do that, but they moved him up from quarterback coach. And then so I'm thinking they're going to keep Ben. Then I hear Mr. Rooney say, well, we can't give him $41 million. What? Listen, do we have to snatch the Band-Aid off right now, the scab off right now, because we're going to pay now or we're going to pay next year? It's going to be a cap hit. What do we do?
Well, I think that Roethlisberger's sitting back and saying, look, if it's easier for you guys, you can stretch this out. Well, okay, it could be easier for now, but like you said, Emmanuel, you got to pay the contract. Whether it's now or later, you got to pay the contract. So the $1 million question that I think the Steelers have to ask themselves is, are we a team that is good enough to win a championship right now? And keep in mind, Marquise Pouncey is going to probably retire and is probably not going to play another year of football.
Ron, forget all that. It ain't like we lost in the championship game, the conference championship. We got beat in the wild card game by the no good Cleveland Browns. So that's not even part of the conversation, right?
Well, then if that's where you are, then you should probably say without any hesitation, Ben, we love you, but you're not part of our future, and you got to rip the Band-Aid off right now. But if you believe that the Steelers have another year where they can mount everyone up and say last ride, and you think you have a shot at becoming a championship caliber team in 2021, then you mount up and go. But if not,
first of all, before we can win a Super Bowl, we have to win our division. I mean, our division. I don't think that we're the best team in our division.
No, you're not.
Okay,
you're not.
So that's why they told Ben. They told Ben, listen, Ben, we can't give you 41.7.
Yeah, and that's where Roethlisberger's going to sit back and say, well, okay, then we can space this out.
But Ron, if we cut him loose, right, and then he can keep that $16 million. If he's on the roster in April, that's $16 million. Then the next cutoff, we got to give him $21 million, even if we cut him loose. So it's not. There's no way. There is absolutely no way we can push this forward. We're going to take a hit, either $21 million or $41 million.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's not worth $21 million. Get a man $16 million and then go play somewhere else. If you love this team, go play somewhere else. Pull a Heinz Ward. Start crying and go say you ain't gonna play no more.
Yeah. There you go. I mean, again, that's where the Steelers are. If the Steelers believe that they're a championship caliber team, they'll keep Ben. If they don't believe that, then financially it makes sense to say, listen, we love you. We love what you've done. We love the fact you've won 2 Super Bowls, and you're always going to be a Steeler. Your number will be retired, the whole 9 yards, but you got to leave.
Yeah, but I hope you're right again, like always, right? Because I think the actual cap hit across. I think it's going to be a drastic drop because of the revenue that was brought in. But you don't think it's going to be as bad as I think it is, huh?
Well, I don't think it's going to be a severe drop. I think that at the very least, it'll stay where it is. I mean, people need to understand. Okay, the attendance that's one thing, but the National Football League is making their money on their national television contract. So it's not like they weren't paid. CBS, Fox, the NFL Network, ESPN, NBC, they're all paying buku megabucks to have the National Football League on their airwaves. So, the 32 teams are making a really, really good amount of money with that national contract. Now, obviously, the fact that you lost 60,000 people in your stadium for 8 games.
Spending $200 a piece at least, and that's not counting the loads.
Yeah, it's not that much, but it's probably closer on the shorter end of $1, maybe $1.25. That the average fan is spending. But you're right. I mean, there's some good money there, but most of their money was already given to them with their national contract. So let's just put it this way, Emmanuel. The owners are not going to be crying foul and crying poor like the Major League Baseball owners, because the Major League Baseball owners have a legitimate gripe because their national television contract does not pay anywhere resembling what the football contract pays. And the local contracts, while nice, if you put the local contract and the national contract together, the average baseball owner is getting way, way less money than the National Football League owner.
Ron, I told you the story, when I was talking to this millionaire buddy of mine, and way back when Latrell's pretty well saying like he can't live off $8 million, he need 12. And I asked the guy, I said, man, he has $8 million. What's the difference between 8 and 12? The millionaire told me $4 million. So if you think like that, what you just said is not part of the equation. But go ahead.
Well, no, it's reality, Emmanuel. Nobody's going to be crying about the National Football League owners not getting their money, because they got their money. They got most of their money. So the salary cap's not going to take as big a dive as everyone thinks. I think it'll probably stay where it is. It might drop a little bit, but it's not going to go crazy.
But I tell you what's going to be crazy. There's going to be a lot of serviceable quarterbacks that are going to be free agents in like the next 35, 40 days. And, so we might be able to. Now, I'm sitting here thinking, right? Now, Phillip Rivers, he got run out of town. They're thinking, they got the coach from Detroit, right? And they're thinking that he can bring Matthew Stafford. Now, I don't know if it would be bad to give Phillip Rivers $8 million, let him play a year or two.
Phillip Rivers is garbage. Did you see him this
year?
Better than Ben. Oh, please. Ben Roethlisberger was way better than Phillip Rivers this year. That wasn't even close.
Okay, well, the fact of the matter is, for me to even put them in the same conversation has telling you how far Ben has dropped.
I understand that, but they're not in the same conversation. I mean, it's Phillip Rivers. Let me tell you something. If Indianapolis had someone any better than Phillip Rivers, not only would they have beaten the Bills in the first round of the playoffs, they might have gone the gamut and gone to the Super Bowl. I will say this right now without any hesitation. When people sit back and say, okay, who are the teams that are closing in on the throne belonging to the Kansas City Chiefs? Because Kansas City is clearly number one in the AFC. And everyone's sitting back and say, well, Buffalo went to the AFC Championship game. You got to consider them. Absolutely, they're young. They're not going to lose that much. Well, you got to consider Cleveland. They were in the playoffs. Absolutely. You must consider Cleveland. You must consider Tennessee. You must consider Pittsburgh. You must consider a team like Miami, who's only going to get better. But I am going to tell you right now, and I say this as a Bills fan, there is a team in Indianapolis that, if they get an upgrade in the quarterback position, immediately becomes the greatest threat to the Kansas City Chiefs, and they hop over Buffalo and into the number 2 position if they get an upgraded quarterback, and that would be the Indianapolis Colts.
Well, I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, right? But other than Pittsburgh, if there's one team I wouldn't want to have to play in a big game, other than Kansas City too, it would be Baltimore. Because they come out there and play like the best team ever or the worst team ever.
Yeah, I'm still not convinced that Lamar Jackson is the answer over there. Because he hasn't proven that Lamar Jackson has not proven that he can win a really, really tough game. Not yet.
Okay, well, my brother, you have a great weekend, and much love to your family, man. Thanks for taking my call.
I appreciate it. 330-886-0813. That's Indianapolis. That's that one team that nobody's talking about in the AFC. I know Browns fans are giddy about what they did and how they almost beat Kansas City. Let's remind everyone and give you a cold slap of reality. the backup quarterback was in the game for most of the second half, and you couldn't beat Chad Henne. The back seven still has to be worked upon. I know there's a lot of folks that want to sit back and automatically put the Browns past Baltimore. You haven't beaten Baltimore. You're not the top dog in your division. Now, you could be, but you haven't beaten Baltimore yet. But Cleveland is one of those teams that you're going to, when we get into 2021, Kansas City's up here, and then you got some teams that are going to be nipping at the heels of Kansas City. Now, I will say this, as a Bills fan, I love my Bills. But I will tell you right now, if Indianapolis gets an upgrade at quarterback, if they go out and they get a Matthew Stafford, if they go out and they have the balls enough to trade for Deshaun Watson, I am telling you right now, the Indianapolis Colts go right over every single team that played in the playoffs and every single team in the AFC, and they're now the biggest threat to the Kansas City Chiefs because Indianapolis was that good this year. It's unfortunate Phillip Rivers was grade A dog garbage in the postseason, and during the course of the year he was mediocre. Could you imagine if Andrew Luck in his prime, prior to him getting his ass kicked every single Sunday because they didn't have an offensive line to protect him, could you imagine Andrew Luck and all the talent that he brings had he decided, I'm going to stick around and play football? Had Andrew Luck stayed in Indianapolis, I'll give you a hot take right now. Had Andrew Luck stayed in Indianapolis, Kansas City's not in the Super Bowl. Indianapolis is. Indianapolis is a really good football team. They're a really good football team. That's a now it's going to have to be a really, really great performance to get past Kansas City because they're the best team in the conference, and they're probably going to be the best team in the National Football League come next Sunday night. We'll see. I'm sure as hell not going to bet against Tom Brady, though. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, a third time, a fourth time, a fifth time, a sixth time, seventh time. Yeah, it gets to be stupid after a while. 330-886-0813. We're back in a bit. Stick around.
Hello, I'm Greg Burbick with G. Burbick Farms. For the last 100 years, my family has farmed in Columbiana and Mahoning counties. I began raising cattle in 1996 with the goal of providing a better product for you and your family on the dinner table. Our grass-fed and grain-supplemented Black Angus beef are raised with no hormones, steroids, or antibiotics. We're known for our hometown-friendly service and incredible tasting products. We're locally owned and have customers across the tri-state area. Our products go from our farm to your family. Stop by our farm on New Buffalo Road or visit us on the web at gburbickfarms.com. Don't forget to like us on Facebook. G. Burbick Farms, it just tastes better.
Hi, this is Tommy Clem, owner of WRS Insurance Solutions.
WRS Insurance Solutions is a local, independent agency that specializes in life, Medicare, long-term care, and disability products. Call us at 330-953-3722 or visit us at wrsinsuranceSolutions.com to learn more.
Good luck to all the student athletes in the Valley.
Right now is a great time to get more for your trade-in at Tri-State Ford and drive home in a new or pre-owned vehicle. Choose from our great selection of new Ford models or pre-owned vehicles. Plus, get the Tri-State Ford Advantage, including a 10-year, 200,000-mile warranty and more. At Tri-State Ford, we'll pay you top dollar for your trade, but you don't have to purchase one of ours to sell us yours.
Customer focus, community driven. Tri-State Ford East Liverpool or visit tristateford.net.
No matter what the weather, be prepared with a reliable, efficient Rude gas furnace or air conditioner from MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning. Call your energy efficient expert, MP Vivo, today for a free estimate.
Here at MP Vivo, we rely on Rude, and so should you.
Myers Family Insurance knows the importance of a great team.
Our team continues to grow to help you with your Medicare and retirement needs.
The annual election period is October 15th through December 7th. Now's the time to make sure your plan continues to meet your needs for the upcoming year.
Call today.
High-res Futurecast shows steady snow for the next few hours.
Still just downright cold.
It is bitter out there.
Strong bands of lake effect snow.
Winds is kind of the big story today as well.
So if you need a more detailed winter forecast on WFMJ.com and the Storm Tracker 21 app.
I went to Greenwood Chevrolet because
I was really interested in looking at the tracks.
Because I wanted my dream truck.
Because I've been going there for 20 years.
I'm really happy that I went
To Greenwood Chevrolet.
Because they really went
The extra mile for me.
Now we're going the extra mile for you, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Welcome back to a Friday edition of Running Point, presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. Ron Potesta with you. You may have noticed, YSU garb on. Youngstown State hosting Detroit Mercy. Unfortunately, no fans allowed at Beagley, but the Penguins will be hosting Detroit Mercy this afternoon and tomorrow afternoon. 5 o'clock starts as the Penguins will hopefully get a sweep of this two-game series. The Penguins are currently 4-8 in the Horizon League. We made mention yesterday when we had Dre Smith on to talk about the YSU women. The Horizon League tournament is set, and how they're going to do this, it's a 12-team field for the guys, and as predicted, the top 4 teams will have a berth into the quarterfinals. The 5 seed will play the 12 seed. The 6 will play the 10. The 7 will play the 5 will play the 12. The 6 will play the 11. The 7 will play the 10. And the 8 will play the 9. The 5, 6, 7, and 8 seeds will all have a home game. So they'll have a first-round home game on the campus sites. The quarterfinals will be on the campus sites. Now, interestingly enough, they will reseed. So let's say that the 12 seed upsets the 5 seed. The 12 seed will automatically play the number 1 team. They'll automatically play the number 1 team. So the lowest seed, which low in this regard is the 12 seed being the lowest, the last place team or close to the last place team, the closest team to last place will play the first place regular season champions. They'll reseed, they'll play the quarterfinals, and those quarterfinal games, once again, will be held on campus sites. So the 1, the 2, the 3, and the 4 seeds, they will have home games. Right now, as it would appear, Youngstown State is not going to be getting a berth into the quarterfinals. For Youngstown State to do this, they would probably have to win all 8 of their remaining games. Right now, they're 4-8. If they were to go on an unbelievable run where they win 8 games in a row, and obviously you got to do it a game at a time, but if they're to win 8 games in a row and finish at 12-8, there is a possibility, albeit slim, but there would be a possibility of the Penguins finishing in 4th place, which would give them a berth to the quarterfinals and a home game in the quarterfinals. And then the winner of the quarterfinal game would go to the Farmers Arena, or I don't know what the hell the place is called, in Indianapolis. That's where the semifinals and the finals will be played. For the women, it's a little different. Detroit Mercy, everyone should know by now, Detroit Mercy has canceled their season. Lots of problems going on at Detroit Mercy in regards to their coaching and in regards to other things going on. There is talk that Purdue-Fort Wayne may shut down as well. So far, they have not. Right now, 11 teams are going to the tournament. So how are they going to do this in the women's side? The top 5 seeds will automatically go to the quarterfinals. The 6 plays the 11, the 7 plays the 10, the 8 plays the 9, the 6, the 7, the 8 seeds. They all get a home game in the first round. And then the winners will go to the quarterfinals. It's reseeded. So let's say the 11 seed wins their first game. They automatically play the top seeded team in the quarterfinals. Everything is reseeded. The 1, the 2, the 3, and the 4 seed will get a quarterfinal matchup at home. And then you'll go to Indianapolis for the semifinals and the finals. Now, Youngstown State is in an interesting situation here. YSU is in a very, very interesting situation. If you're a 5 seed, you get the bye to the quarterfinals, but there's no chance for that 5 seed to get a home game. There's no chance for the 5 seed to get a home game. They'll probably wind up playing. As a matter of fact, it's not probably. They will be playing the 4 seed in the quarterfinals. They'll play the 4 seed in the quarterfinals in the home of the 4 seed. So if you're Youngstown State, they're on a 5-game winning streak. YSU has an opportunity because the next 3 opponents, not really all that good. IUPUI is their final opponent before the tournaments. That's the only team left on this schedule where Youngstown State is really... They could finish this whole thing out minimum 6 wins. And they're 5-3 right now. Now, you're going to have to go by win percentage because not everyone is going to be able to play 20 league games. There's been COVID concerns, and the YSU women have already lost 4 games because of COVID. So you're going to have to go by win percentage. The YSU women have a really, really good chance to become one of those 5 teams. And I think that they have a really good chance to be in the top 4, which would give them a home game in the quarterfinals, where they'd skip past the first round, they'd go into the quarterfinals, and then they have a quarterfinal game at home where the winner of that game goes to Indianapolis for the semifinals and conference championship game. I think it's going to be really interesting to see what happens as we are now down to the final 8 conference games for both the YSU men and the women. The men are home to Detroit Mercy, a game tonight or this afternoon at 5 o'clock, a game tomorrow afternoon at 5 o'clock, and then next week, I believe the YSU men are on the road in Robert Morris, and then they're back home for the final 2 weekends of the season. So Penguins certainly have, both the men and the women, certainly have an opportunity to finish the regular season really strong because like the women, the YSU men's competition, the final 4 weeks, these final 4 teams that they're playing, none of them are that great. YSU should be able to win at the very least 6 of their final 8 games. And if they can, you're looking at a 10-10 season. 10-10 should get you a home game in the first round. It wouldn't get you a bye into the quarterfinals. It definitely would not get you a bye into the quarterfinals. But it should get you a bye, or it should get you a home game. Because as we mentioned, 5 plays 12, 6 plays 11, 7 plays 10, 8 plays 9. 10-10 should finish Youngstown State in the top 8. And the top 8 teams get a home game, or at least 5 through 8 get a home game in the first round. You wouldn't get a home game any other time, pretty much. But if you can get a home game in the first round and then go on the road, campus site to a quarterfinal matchup, and again, depending on the matchup, Youngstown State could find themselves, both the men and the women, playing in Indianapolis. And then all bets are off because you're 2 wins away from going to the NCAA tournament. All right, 330-886-0813. We'll take a final timeout, give everyone the rundown of the schedule coming up tonight on the network, and then we'll get out of here and make room for DJ and the boys with Power Hour. Stick around, more to come.
WRS Wealth Advisors is the area's premier wealth and retirement specialist. With our combined 70 years experience and comprehensive wealth strategy, we assist our clients attain their goals. Call 330-965-0370 to learn more about our individual and corporate financial planning services, or visit wrswealthadvisors.com. Good luck, athletes!
Hi everyone, this is DJ Yoakley with Your Sports Network. We appreciate your support of YSN and welcome you to the YSN family. Our broadcast streams are brought to you live at no cost to you by sponsors that are local to this community. Without the vision and generosity of our sponsors and partners, we would not be able to bring this game to you today. So please support the great businesses and leaders that are making this game possible. And if you're a business in need of great advertising and sponsorship opportunities, feel free to head over to our site for more information on the right fit for you. We are local, we are loyal, and we are live. We are YSN.
Ah, the details. Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods is one fine ride. Perfect cornering, superb handling, sporty and stylish, power to spare, plus awesome mileage. Yeah, jaw-droppingly beautiful lines and well appointed with luxurious trim. Put more oomph in your life and start beholding the molding. Find your home's fine hardwood at BairdBrothers.com.
For heating, cooling, and indoor air quality, the Mahoning Valley trusts MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning, offering worry-free repair, service, and installation. Call MP Vivo today for a free estimate.
MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning. We're your energy-efficient experts.
Planning a project around your home or rental property? Trust the electrical service to the local experts with 62 years of serving the Mahoning Valley. Joe Dickey Electric is your local go-to source for responsive, reliable residential electrical work. From everyday maintenance and repairs to new installations, electrical upgrades, and safety inspections, no job is too big or too small. Call Joe Dickey Electric today, 800-549-3976, or visit DickeyElectric.com. That's DickeyElectric.com.
News doesn't stop after the sun goes down. Sometimes you just have to hustle to get it. At 21 News, no matter how far it is, no matter what it takes to get there, we're working to bring you the best stories and the freshest content at 11 p.m. with the context and clarity that makes it worth staying up for, no matter what time it is. 21 News at 11 with me, Aaron Simonek, and Derek Steyer.
21 News at 11, news that's worth your time.
Welcome back to a Friday edition of Running Point presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. All right, here's what's going on the network before we get out of here. The EOWL tournament. This is the premier wrestling tournament, and it's not canceled, kids. Unlike other tournaments, the EOWL tournament is a go at Austintown Fitch High School, and that tournament gets underway, and coverage gets underway in about 7 minutes. JV boys basketball tonight from Edison High School. Toronto is going to visit Edison. 6 o'clock, boys only, varsity boys only basketball game from the west side of Youngstown. Cardinal Mooney will be taking on Cheney. That is a varsity-only game starting at 6 o'clock. The rest of tonight, it's 7 o'clock starting time, give or take a few minutes. Howland is at Boardman. Liberty is at Champion. United at Columbiana. LeBray is at Crestview. Beaver Local at East Liverpool. Toronto at Edison. Struthers is at Girard. Akron-Hoban will visit Louisville. Marlington is at Salem. Badger at Ursuline. McDonald at Waterloo. And Minerva will visit West Branch. Those are the games tonight on the network. A reminder, WRS Wealth Advisors, the corporate sponsor for Open Look, not only the corporate sponsor for Open Look, but the corporate sponsor for high school basketball on ysnlive.com. Open Look tonight, Mike Ackelson and the boys here in the studios of YSN. They'll keep you updated on all the games going on in our network, and it should be an awful lot of fun tonight. That'll do it for the program. Have a great weekend, everyone. Many, many thanks to Ken Grisdale from Poland High School, Craig Hannon from Girard checking in. Also, the head basketball coach at Westminster, Kevin Saroki, checking in as well. We thank them very much for calling in on the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline. That'll do it for the show. We will talk to you on Monday. Running Points,